Good evening once again from the 2022 Minto Cup here in Brampton, Ontario. We're inside the CAA Centre where tonight the Whitby Warriors can become the Minto Cup champions for an 8th time. However, the Edmonton Miners hoping that that doesn't happen as they need a win to keep their Cinderella story alive here at the Minto Cup. I'm Matthew Carrick alongside Jonathan Donville, the reigning Minto Cup MVP, at least for a few more hours as we see what tonight unfolds. We'll get to Paul Hendrick, Joe Bowen, and Brian Shanahan in a few minutes. But last night it was 12-8 for the Whitby Warriors, and they're looking to capture their 8th Minto Cup.
Yeah, the cup's in the building today, right? After so many years of looking forward to this, Whitby has a chance to do what so few teams get to do, and that's actually take it home tonight. Whitby, one of the dominant programs in the sport, one of the dominant programs in Ontario, but looking for their first Minto Cup in a while.
And you can see that stat on the bottom. Of course, we know the Ontario dominance here in this tournament, and the Edmonton Miners. This is their first appearance in a Minto Cup final and the first Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League team to make it to the finals. They're hoping that they've got at least one more day left in them.
Yeah, this is a proud team. It was something we've really seen all tournament. They didn't come out here just looking to participate. They came out here looking to win. Their win might have been surprising to some people, but certainly not the guys on that bench or the coaching staff. They believe they should be here. They deserve to be here, and they're far from over.
Yeah, a really close game last night until really the third period, which is when Adam Patras woke up and Lucas Littlejohn kind of took over that game. Here's a look at some of the highlights from that game last night.
Yeah, really the theme for Whitby is scoring outside of the 5-on-5, something they did off the face-off, shorthanded, and just in all sorts of situations. They got a secondary scoring from Gabe Sorketti early, which was big for them, and then really late in the game with Patras and Littlejohn especially getting out in transition. This is a team that can score in so many different ways, and that's why they're so hard to defend.
A one-goal game 3 different times, a 2-goal lead for Whitby throughout that game on 4 separate occasions. Once they got it up to 3, though, at 7-4, it was pretty much game over.
Yeah, this highlight you're seeing right now from Littlejohn to Patras was just arguably the nicest goal we've seen this tournament. Just what a great play to seal the deal. Should mention, though, we talked about it last night on the broadcast, a pretty good little pushback there in the third period by the Miners. Didn't let the game get away from them. Maybe built some momentum going into today.
An interesting kind of timeout call to John Lintz, not only making the mid-period timeout, but coming right onto the bench to settle the guys down. And again, you talked about that Lucas Littlejohn goal that kind of sealed the deal. Here's what it looked like. The guy in the building where his father used to play as a member of the Brampton Beast playing in his second national championship.
Yeah, it really had 2 outstanding plays in the third period. You see this one right now where he picks it off with one hand, goes right in and scores. And then the one we saw in the previous highlight package, beating the triple team, getting it to Patras. He's just a guy who can do everything. Yeah, here's the highlight we're seeing right now. Just a guy who does everything well on the lacrosse floor. We see him defend quite well. I believe he's a defenseman in hockey, so kind of has that in him. and then he gets up the floor in transition, plays in transition. He's been all over the place. And really going back to the Ontario finals, we saw him score a couple. Going back to the Orangeville series, really get going at the end of that series, and he's been outstanding for Whitby. Really has been arguably their third best player here after Poitras and Haley.
Yeah, Poitras, Haley, and Pfeiffer, we've been calling them the three-headed monster for this Whitby offense all season long here in Ontario. They have provided a lot of the scoring for this Whitby Warriors team and nearly matching the entire Miners team last night.
Yeah, these guys, like you said, Matty, they've just been outstanding all year. Pfeiffer's really been the guy who's been good at this tournament, better than, not that the others you guys haven't, but just when they can get someone outside of Haley and Poitras scoring goals, it just helps them so much. I think Pfeiffer's been outstanding. He always gets looks. He's just gotten some of them to go in this tournament.
Yeah, one guy that we're going to key on as well, one of those secondary scoring players is Gabriel Soroketti. He had a hat trick last night, as did Jake Bowen on the side of the Miners.
Yeah, Soroketti was really aggressive last night, something we haven't seen a ton from him throughout the Ontario finals in this tournament. Being aggressive, especially with the ball in his stick, getting to the goal in one-on-one situations, something he's really good at. Has the ability to do it, the athleticism to do it, with a field background as well. Look for him to be aggressive tonight, kind of feed off that. And you can see he's had a great tournament.
Yeah, Soroketti coming alive last night, as we said, with those hat tricks, but both of their teams are going to need them to step up and be part of those secondary scoring. Like we said, 18th points, by the way, is good enough for 5th in this tournament for Jake Bowen. The leader, by the way, is Matthew Gauthier, who we've also been talking about for the Miners. Another key player for the Miners, he's back in net tonight, is going to be Keegan Malinichuk. And John Linson said what he does after he gets, his bounce back performances. Here's what he did earlier after getting pulled in Toronto in that do or die game against Victoria.
Yeah, this is a situation, almost the exact same thing that he was in earlier in this tournament. Got pulled in one game, comes back the next game. Again, part of the story is the mental fortitude to be able to come back, but also some fresher legs by being out of that game early yesterday. Again, Jason Matilisenko was outstanding for Edmonton in that game, so they have two good goalies, but definitely good to see their starter back in there.
For the third time in this tournament, the Miners face elimination. Can they pull off the upset one more time? All of their wins, by the way, have come on the bench that they'll be on this evening. To the two guys who will call it, Joe Bowen and Brian Shanahan in the booth.
Well, thanks very much, fellas. It's going to be an interesting night. A number of changes, and not surprising, when you lose a game, you do make some changes. And one of the things will be Luke Bowen, a right-handed shot, coming into the lineup for what was predominantly a left-handed shooting team last night.
Yeah, they had 4 lefties out there. They only got 4 goals from the lefties. Jake Bowen had 3 of them. But I think they want to get the ball in Gauthier's stick a bit more. He still had a great game, 4 assists, but he didn't score any goals. And I think all goal scorers feel more comfortable when there's less guys on their side. They get on the floor more often. So look for the lefties to do a little bit more. And if they're not going to score more goals, they have to play a perfect game defensively.
You got to look at Jake Oldman. What a performance he put on. Now, I counted about 23 face-offs. He probably won 80% of them. Am I wrong?
Easily. He won 80% of them, and that's going to be a big deal for Edmonton, how they're going to adjust. And it's not just they can't lose they can lose the face-offs. They can't give up scoring chances. They have to make that adjustment.
Starting goaltenders will be, no change for Whitby, and why would there be? Matt was terrific. Caleb Martin was outstanding. He had an .853 save percentage. And you've had a number 1 goaltender in Edmonton over the year. You got to go back to him in a pressure situation like this.
No, I totally agree. And you're a goalie guy. You go back to him. You give him a chance to come back and prove what he can do. Lysenko had a great game, but you let Malinichuk have a chance to bounce back, and he's done it before, as the guys mentioned.
He's allowed 5 goals on 13 shots, but in the playoffs, before getting here, he had an .858 save percentage. So that should be very impressive to see what happens here tonight. They have to play better defense, maybe get a little more scoring as far as Edmonton is concerned. Let's send it off now, back to the boys.
Thank you very much, Joe. Game 2 is coming up, and the Miners are fighting to keep their tournament alive for the Whitby Warriors, looking for their 8th Minto Cup. Who will come out on top? The answer when we return to the CAA Center in Brampton. You're watching the 2022 Minto Cup on tsn.ca and direct. Tonight's game will be played, broadcast, and watched with heavy hearts, as there was a crash early this morning that killed 6 young men, including Luke West, a 22-year-old former player of the Barrie Bombers. On a personal note, Jim Lowe is very involved with that organization, a very long-time friend and supporter of our crew. Our thoughts are definitely with Jim, with the Barrie Bombers, and all the sports communities in Barrie that are affected. We offer our support to the family of Luke West. We offer our thoughts and prayers to all 6 families that are devastated here today.
We're grateful to have had the opportunity to work on this land. By doing so,
PA announcer in-house is Matthew Bauman. We stand by for the Haudenosaunee and Canadian National Anthem before game number 2. Over on the Whitby Warriors bench is a lot of veteran experience, including Jim Dasberg, who's been there with 14 years. Kalen Fraser, a long time trainer as well. But for now, Paul Hendrick, our rinkside reporter, is standing by with the reigning coach of the year, Sean Williams.
Sean, so close, just one victory away from a Minto Cup, but you know you've got a long way to go. What can you do to build on the positive aspects of last night's game and maybe repeat such here tonight?
No, just we have to stay in the moment. You know they're going to be bringing everything they have at us, and like we always say, we're ready for anything and ready for everything, and stick to our principles.
Knowing John Lynch as well as you do, you're a former teammate of his in the National Lacrosse League. How evident is his style and personality with the club we've seen from Edmonton this week?
It's amazing. That's his work ethic. thick on the floor, and his leadership in the dressing room shines through his team.
All right, Sean, good luck.
Thank you.
Guys, back up to you.
Oh, well, a lot of pressure on the young men from Edmonton. They won back-to-back midget championships, which sort of has been the groundswell of lacrosse in Edmonton and is the representation on this team. They came east in those teams and did very well. And so there is no awe about this. It's just they have to play better.
You're right. And that was absolutely huge at the time when they won those because, no Alberta team had won the national championship. So it's the same group of young men, and these guys are very confident in themselves. But this is going to be a big battle here at center floor, Joe. And as we said earlier, I don't think Edmonton has to win them. They just can't give up fast break. And I noticed they have 3 guys lining up defensively to help ensure they're not giving up a fast break.
Well, they didn't get the face-off, but they didn't give up the fast break either. But Whitby is in red here this evening. Edmonton has chosen to stay in their black and red trimmed jerseys, and we'll see what happens here. Whitby with the ball and the attack to start things off. Haley wears number 22. Now back to Poitras. Poitras in with the first shot, and the first save made by Keegan Malenchuk is a good one, and that's got to feel good for the goaltender who got pulled last night. Had a nice chat with him. He is fully confident of bouncing back, and they're going to need him.
He did the same thing against Victoria. Last time he got pulled against Beaches. The next game they played with Victoria, do or die, and he was excellent. So the coaches have seen it before. They have a lot of confidence in him.
So, played in there by Needham. It goes into the slot, a shot off the shoulder of Martin and into the corner. So both goaltenders have been tested here and come up strong in the early going.
Early scoring chance by Gauthier. Didn't get any yesterday, but 4 big assists.
Royer getting it back out top. Trying to work the ball there was Gauthier, and now they score the opening goal.
Jake Bowen, and this is great ball movement. Watch, it comes up top from Gauthier to the righty Royer. And I thought he was going to step in to shoot. You're going to see as the ball comes around, I think Gauthier comes up, puts it on the crease. I thought he had room to step in and shoot, but he has a lot better vision than I did because he put it inside to Bowen, who's had a fantastic tournament, 3 goals yesterday, and he opens the scoring here today.
23 seconds into the match, but Edmonton scored 31 seconds into game 1. So Jake Bowen, who's had an excellent tournament, makes it 1-0 Edmonton here very early in the first period.
And yeah, you said it yesterday, Whitby came back within seconds of Edmonton opening the scoring. We'll see how they respond here.
And once again, Oldham has won the face-off. Whitby with the attack and a ball in tight. Good shot taken there by Tapper and a good save by Malenchuk.
Well, it wasn't a quick goal, but it was a quick scoring chance. So excellent save by Malenchuk, but Edmonton's not going to like how they got rid of that ball.
No, they just turned it over on a really haphazard play, and a shot whistles wide. It's going to carry him off the backboards and go all the way down into Whitby territory, and that will be an over and back, and it will be Edmonton ball. And they'll get a change going here as Reed faces up against the Miners forwards. Drop back now for Dame to the near side. Back on the far side for Bowen. Left-handed shot, and he fires it hard, but right into the chest of Caleb Martin. And he will hold on. Martin was the player of the game for the Warriors the other night, and he stopped 37 of 45 shots. The shots on goal were really quite close in the game, as a shot whistles wide of the Edmonton cage and bounds back over the timeline, and it'll be Edmonton ball again.
Yeah, he didn't steal the game or anything, but he was just excellent and solid. And I think we said I think he only let in 1 outside shot all game. And when
right after we mentioned it, as I recall.
Yeah, after I jinxed him.
Edmonton to the attack. Near side, Needham. Back into the slot, and a shot by Bowen is blocked. The rebound is controlled by Whitby. 1-0 in favor of the Edmonton Miners.
And one of the keys to Whitby's game is their great transition. We mentioned on the face-offs, but just going from defense to offense. And that's got to be a key for Edmonton to minimize the transition goals against.
Here's Poitras, Adam Poitras trying to move to the middle, left-handed shot, gets it on the wing, and a shot from the angle, scores to tie the game at ones.
And was that Pfeiffer who scored that goal? I think it was.
I believe you're right, yep.
And he's had a great tournament, and we always talk about Poitras and Haley, but the extra guys have really contributed. The guys like Little John, Pfeiffer, Soroketti, and just a nice outside shot to tie it up.
So both teams on the board. We played exactly 3 minutes here in the first period. I asked the boys from Edmonton, have you checked out of the hotel? Not a chance. Not a chance.
I'm surprised they didn't punch out after that, Joe.
No, I did it in good-naturedness. Bowen with a pass in. Oh, and a great chance for Jacob Power. And a save made by Martin. Knocked down on the play. Trying to regain his feet was Bowen. It gets back out into the slot area. And now here's Luke Bowen, number 99. He's a right-handed shot. His brother is a left-handed shot. So they're out there working together. A pass in for Bowen. A shot is smothered there by Martin.
And one of the things I like about Whitby's defense, if they see that Edmonton doesn't have all 5 guys on the floor on offense, they really go out and press and put a lot of pressure.
Edmonton with the ball. Or, excuse me, Whitby with the ball. Pass into the corner. Trying to come back out was Poitras. Onto the wing. Oh, big hit there.
Big hit, yes.
And a turnover. No turnover, but a shot goes up wide. And the hit was a big one because it really took a lot of time off the clock. There are 6 members of the Edmonton Miners who are going to the Queen's University of Charlotte in North Carolina. It's a school of about 2,000 students and a lacrosse program that is just getting underway and getting its feet wet. So all of these guys play together 12 months of the year.
I know, it's amazing. I didn't realize till Bowen told us that Chris Panos he's an American guy who came up and played a lot in Canada, won a Mann Cup. I think he might have been one of the first Americans to win a Mann Cup out here. But good for Chris Panos to be recruiting these Canadians to go down there.
And it started with Jamie Bowen getting his sons involved, and then all of a sudden it became a pipeline. Speaking of Edmonton and
pipelines, very good.
Yes. I work on these things at home. Pass broken up. Whitby trying to come up with a loose ball, and it's still on the carpet, and finally dug out. Looked like it had crazy glue attached to it. Now Hansor can't get across the line, and Edmonton has the ball again. A 1-1 tie here. Things just starting to get interesting here in the first period. Luke Bowen trying to get a shot away. Bowen gets it back again. They try to hook things up, and a shot whistles wide. Karam's off the official. Back of the net goes Needham trying to get it in front, and a good save made by Martin again in front of the net. That was off Matthew Gauthier.
I think that one went off the crossbar, Joe. That was a nice attempt.
And now we get a change, and let's go downstairs to Jonathan.
Yeah, guys, just picking up on the Queen's Charlotte conversation. Chris Panos is actually 3-time Mann Cup champion, also won an NLL championship, and competed in 4 World Box Championships as part of Team USA. And 6 players on this minors team headed to Queen's Charlotte, 8 players overall in this tournament. Really impressive showing. Certainly a program to keep an eye on with so much good Canadian talent coming in as they transition to Division I.
Here is Edmonton coming back into the attack. Push. Sends it off, but an errant pass is gobbled up here by the Warriors, and quickly back the other way is Carter's shot. Shot will send it down into the corner and head to the bench. Poitras to the far side. Pfeiffer trying to work out. Back to the near side for Soroketti. Back for Pfeiffer. He fakes the shot, goes down into the corner. trying to work out Little John now, and now turned over again. And both teams playing pretty tough defense right now.
Oh, they sure are. I think Patras broke his stick. Yeah, he snapped his stick on offense there. And so they were only playing with 4 guys on offense for the last 10 seconds.
How many sticks does every player have, Shanny?
Honestly, I don't know. I only had 1, and I was done when that was done.
Yeah, but that was made out of 2x4, so it didn't matter. We didn't have to worry about it. Shot whistles wide. Rebound gathered up and quickly brought back the other way.
Good speed.
And a foot race here now for Oldman going in. And a big save made by Malenchuk.
Oldman's had a great tournament. Not only is he dominating in the faceoffs, he scored a couple of big transition goals, got one yesterday.
Plays well defensively.
He sure does.
Coming off the boards, Dempers had it knocked out of his stick. Gets it back again, now trying to set it up high. Off on the near side, trying to get a shot is Sorchetti. Sorchetti still with it, just 3 seconds left on the shot clock, and that rang wide and will bound all the way down into Whitby territory. And both teams changing and getting their offense and defense set up. Lots of action in front with Matthew Gauthier taking a couple of hacks and whacks. Off on the far side, comes back to Bowen, back to Gauthier. Gauthier back to Luke Bowen, and a shot drilled right on and into the chest of Caleb Martin and held as the Warriors will get it out. Still a 1-1 tie. 11:56 to go here, period number 1. From the CAA Centre in Brampton, Ontario, the Minto Cup. Whitby trying to win for the 8th time in its history, and Edmonton trying to win its first. And the speed here quickly shown in over the line by Push. Got it in front of the net but couldn't get a shot away.
White did a good job running back to make sure that pass wasn't going to make it through.
Jake Darlison gets it down into the offensive zone. Dempers sends it off on the wing. Haley was going to the net but didn't get the pass. Now bobbling it there was Darlison off on the wing, and a shot from an angle is off the mark wide. And just 6 seconds left, and so they purposely play it into the corner to get their defense organized as Edmonton will start back up the floor.
And maybe, Jonathan, you can let us know if you see. I don't think Patras has been back on the floor since his stick broke, and I assume they're just putting the blade on another shaft.
Yeah, guys, that's exactly what's going on. To answer Joe's question, well, everyone would have 2 sticks, certainly have 2 shafts, especially the offensive players only have 1 stick they actually want to play with.
Well, the Whitby Warriors have taken a 2-1 lead.
And I believe that Sorchetti, who had a hat trick last night, finishes this one off. And again, it's the transition of Whitby. It's their ability to excel on the broken play, just coming up the floor. And, you know, that's not bad coverage, but that's just great for him to reach for that. You could have potentially had a hitting from behind on that play, but whether there was or not, it would have been nullified by the goal.
Jackson Canton got the hit in, but it was just a tad bit late.
And again, the transition of Whitby is key.
And once again, Oldman wins the faceoff and now gets a pass into the slot and a shot, and that was kicked away by Malenchuk. Really impressive. A pass and a backdoor play. A backdoor play where they keep the kitty litter. And it is 3-1 in favor of the Warriors.
And this time it's a nice pass from Sorchetti and Brock Haley. Watch this finish. Sorchetti's going to come around from this side. Brock Haley, you can see him open, but he just puts it in. There's not a lot of room, just smoothly catches it. Quick stick to the short side. And that's 2 quick goals for Whitby.
2 and 14 seconds. And Whitby opens up a 3-1 lead. And the Miners are going to have to match, but they don't get the ball again off the face-off. Oldman again, and a chance for a third. Big save made by Malenchuk. That could have been devastating. Another pass comes in front. Tipped off by Poitras, who's got the new blade going, and a save made by Malenchuk, and now the Miners will try to rally and bring it back. quickly ahead. It comes to Kalen Mander. Mander will dish it off. Here's Davis Dame coming into the slot area, but doesn't shoot it. Bowen feeds it off and heads hard to the front of the net, but can't get a return pass. Dame on the near side. Back into the slot, looking in front of the net. Pass down low in front of the goal. And a save made on a play in front of the goal as Dame tried to dive into the crease and get it flow. Edmonton with a retrieval, though. Royer dishes it back near side, driving the net again this time. Davis Dame has had a couple of chances, paid a price on both of them, but hasn't been able to get it into the Whitby goal.
And Scott Reed did a good job just to make sure as Dame tried to go far side, bring it back short side, Reed's stick came down to make sure he couldn't get that shot away.
Soroketti getting the pass on the near side. Gabriel Soroketti into the goal crease area, handled easily by Keegan Malenchuk, and out come the Miners once more. Jacob Power waiting for teammates to arrive off the bench, and Luke Bowen getting it back into the slot, looking back into the corner. Bowen went to the front of the net as it comes back into the slot. Royer trying to get a shot away, couldn't do it. Back to the far side, now looking down low, and a shot whistles wide, and the rebound is going to bound into the seats. And it will be Whitby ball with 8:38 to go here in the first period. 2 goals, 14 seconds apart, have opened up a 2-goal lead. Poitras dishing it back, getting a return there from Soroketti into the slot. Shot, good save off the shoulder, made there by Malenchuk. Scramble in the corner and a scrum, and out of the corner come the Warriors, but they can't get to the front of the net, and then they try to go into the net. That's going to be whistled down, and it'll be Edmonton ball. Goaltenders have to be doing a lot of housekeeping, making sure those posts are in the right spot.
And unlike hockey, if the net's knocked loose, the goal would still count.
Edmonton to the attack. Royer into the slot with a shot from outside off the shoulder of goaltender Caleb Martin. Puck, the ball gets down now, and a race for the ball. A shot gets it in over the line. Now going to set it up with White organizing things. Michael White dropping it back for Poitras. Poitras for Pfeiffer to the far side. Pfeiffer went to the front of the net, but then back it comes to Poitras. Now to Pfeiffer, fake the shot. Trying to get into position, doesn't shoot it. Sends it off on the wing, and then a shot is stopped on a good save made by Malenchuk just as the time ran out. 7 minutes to play here in the first period. Whitby 3, the Edmonton Miners 1, and Whitby trying to win the Minto Cup in consecutive games of a best-of-3. The Miners hoping to force a game tomorrow night right back here in Brampton. Bowen heads to the front of the net, but the pass went to the far side, and out come the Warriors with a 2-goal lead.
I mean, it's so early in this game, but you just get a feeling that Edmonton has to get this next goal. You know, they don't want to be playing catch-up all game like yesterday.
Haley dishing it off. Poitras on the near side. Back out onto the wing. A shot, toe save made there by goalkeeper Malenchuk. And it's going to go across the timeline and allow both teams to change here. Poitras. Soroketti went to the front of the net, but it comes back out to the top. Now Soroketti with it. Weave through the middle, doesn't work. Onto the far side, a shot, smothered and pounced on then by Keegan Malenchuk. He's from New Westminster, British Columbia, and has been a key component in the addition to this Miners team. But is trailing 3-1. Ball knocked out of the stick of Jack Royer, and now the scramble is on in the corner. Hit there. The ball still free. And Edmonton ball.
We've had some excellent battles for loose ball, and Gauthier usually in the middle of it.
Gauthier and Reed, a shot outside, scores! Jack Royer got the shot away while most of the attention was on Reed and Gauthier in front. Royer found an opening, and there's the goal you were talking about.
Well, it was a tough battle against the boards. We really couldn't see what happened, but watch Royer. We're going to see a great angle from here. There's very little net available. This is just a perfect shot. Here's even better. Oh my gosh, like that, there's an inch or two for him to put that ball, and he places it perfectly.
I've looked at a lacrosse ball. He needed 2 inches. I don't think you can get it to get any smaller, but you're right. It was a perfect shot. So it's a 3-2 game. Save made by Malenchuk.
And again, a quick scoring chance off the face-off for Whitby.
I don't believe the Miners have won a face-off, have they? And there's going to be a penalty here.
Penalty. And you know, I think there comes a point where if you can't beat the face-off guy, and it looks like they can't beat Jack Ullman, there's nothing wrong with conceding that, just making sure you're not giving it up. And that's what they're doing, or giving up transition.
Here's Poitras across. Comes back into the slot now for Haley. To Poitras, to Haley. Haley with a fake. Now a shot as time ran out. But the first power play of the game is going to go to the Whitby Warriors as they hold a 3-2 lead. And the captain of the Edmonton Miners is coming to the penalty box, and that is Bennett Smith.
And this has to be a hold. I'm watching the replay here, and yeah, that's a good wrestling move.
15-15 the time. Whitby with the first power play of the game.
And I think yesterday Whitby only got 1 power play they scored on. I believe it was Pfeiffer on a rebound.
But they killed off 2.
They killed off a couple
plays.
And got a shorty.
Exactly. Here's Poitras again. Shot deflects wide of the Edmonton goal. Ball on the carpet. They bang around at it. The ball comes free, and Edmonton's going to run it out. Looks for a lead pass, and they found it. Trying to work in over the line was Mander, but he was too well covered. Now he gets free, looking for the short-handed goal. That didn't work, and it's going to be Whitby ball.
A great effort by Mander. The man caught him, but then he rolled off him and still got the good scoring chance.
Warriors with 1:11 to go on this power play. Poitras back out top for Haley. Poitras and Haley playing catch. Haley got the shot away. Where's the ball? As it was trickling towards the goal line, Malenchuk did the reverse angel and found it.
Always scary when you see the goalie looking behind him after a shot.
Now Edmonton killing off some time. Needham gets it back. Dame, they'll play catch with it. 38 seconds left in the penalty. 6 left on the shot clock. And they're going to just try to kill off as much time as they can. Throw the ball away and get a change going here on the defensive side. 3:11 left in the first period. Glad you're along with us. 3-2. The Whitby Warriors are out in front. Poitras and Haley exchanging the ball. Haley is up at the top. And the ball and the pass intercepted. Edmonton's going to kill off the remainder of this penalty and maybe score a goal on the shorthanded. No, good save made by Caleb Martin. Breaking in there was Mander. Whitby brings it back, but the penalty has expired.
A second one-on-one chance against the goalie for Mander, and Caleb Martin again comes up big.
So Edmonton has had their chances, they just have not finished. And now they're going to get an opportunity with another loose ball. Brought forward quickly by Ganton. And he will give it off.
Here we go again.
McFadden.
See the pressure. See the 2 guys on them. They know that Edmonton's kind of slow getting their offense on, so they're going out and pressuring the guys when they don't have a lot of help.
They do have their offense out the front door now. Bowen on the near side, doesn't shoot it. He's had about 4 shots on goal thus far, and an errant pass there goes to Whitby with 1:48 to go. First period action here, and another turnover though. Edmonton gets an opportunity. They get it back across. Dame holding off, dishes it back. Dame will get it back in the corner. Now out top it comes. Needham to the far side, trying to work in there was Caleb Harris. Harris is taken wide, now gets a shot away. Good angle though by Caleb Martin to make sure there was nothing to be seen. And it goes for naught. 1:14 to go in the period.
Oh, nice stick check.
Another turnover.
Davis Dame.
Hasn't been for the opportunities. Ganton heading to the bench. Royer gets it down into the corner. Played back up top. Here's Bowen going to the net. The bounce shot doesn't work. The rebound is going to be controlled though. His brother gets it over on the far side. A shot from the well out goes wide of the net. And now here's Whitby with 36 seconds left, getting it back across. Hansor will head to the bench. Pfeiffer dishing it back. Looking on the near side, Soroketti. Soroketti to the far side, and a shot coming, and it is into the equipment and held. 17.5 seconds, and a timeout's going to be called here, and Edmonton will hopefully get the last shot. They're going to organize things here to that end.
Yeah, after 3 quick goals by Whitby, Edmonton has seemed to carry the flow lately, and they're going to get their chance to tie up this score, as they're going to pull their goalie, I would say, with 17 seconds to go and play for that last shot.
They've certainly had their opportunities here.
No, they sure have. I mean,
Right.
Caleb Martin, the more I watch him, the more I get impressed, because, I haven't talked about him all week, but, yesterday he was great, and today so far he's been great. This could easily be a 4-3 score, 5-3 for Edmonton. He's played fantastic. 2 breakaways on shorthanded situation for Edmonton.
Well, the folks who are going to be picking the most valuable player award have got a lot of work ahead of them.
Yeah, no, I mentioned to you earlier in the week, I would have said it's, hands down Patras. But there's a lot of guys in the running now. I wouldn't. Not that he's played bad. He could still win it if they win. But there's a lot of guys in the running, and this might not be over till tomorrow.
That's right. So 17.5 seconds. Extra attacker on the floor for the Miners, trying to tie the game before the intermission. Brought forward now by Dame.
Look at the battle
on
in
the
front
right
of the
side.
net.
A lot of battle going on there.
Oh boy! Look at this.
And a shot taken as Gauthier.
Oh my God!
Down, and the shot just missed.
Edmonton, that's a big mistake. They turn over the ball with 4 seconds to go. That is enough time to put it in the empty net, and I think that would have counted it if that had gone in. There was enough time to hit the post.
So the Whitby Warriors, trying to win the Minto Cup here this evening, have a 3-2 lead after the first 20 minutes. Let's go downstairs to Paul Hendrick.
Thank you, Joe. And Jake Bowen's got 4 goals over the course of the last couple of nights, and I check off the positive boxes: transition, turnovers, transition, and penalty kill. What did you like about your club's performance in that regard in that opening 20 minutes?
I mean, that was a great bounce-back period from our goalie, Keegan. Balls weren't going in as they wanted to last game, and he really stepped up for us today. He was stopping a bunch of balls. I mean, we were moving the ball quick up in transition. We were slowing it down in offense, which is our big game plan, and just getting through the middle, which I was really kind of loving to see.
Been able to score from the perimeter. How difficult is it getting inside to do what you like to do? And we saw you loving to mix it up inside where it's really tough. How do you go about doing that again here tonight?
That's Alberta ball. We love to get rough. We love to get in the middle. We love to hit bods. I think just refs are, as we're seeing so far, refs are letting a lot of picks slide right now. So we're going to do as much as we can to set harder picks and get open in the middle and just kind of spread the floor open for our boys here.
Full complement of the Bowen brothers on the court here tonight. Tell us about the other guy and what he brings to the floor for you guys.
Luke's anybody knows him, he's an absolute menace. He gets after it. Great shot from outside. Once he starts hitting his shots, it's going to start going for him. And, you know, he's a tough son of a...
Yes, he is.
Yeah, so, I mean, as long as we're kind of moving to him and we just got the communication going, I think he's going to have a really good game coming up here.
All right, Bowen's on the floor, general manager, and a Bowen in the box. Well, thank you, Jake.
Thank you very much.
Jake Bowen with a goal here tonight. His squad down 3-2 after 20 minutes of play. The second period coming up, well, in about 10 to 15 more minutes. But we'll be back with more in just a moment from the CAA Center in Brampton, Game 2 of the Minto Cup.
On our family dairy farm, there's a saying that the sun doesn't start the day, we do. It's our daily reminder to be our best, make our best, and that our dairy farm doesn't just take care of our family, it's part of something bigger. That's dairy done right.
Gatorade, with electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing. Gatorade.
The Minto Cup is awarded annually to the Canadian Men's Box Junior Champions of Canada. But did you also know that the Minto Cup is one of the oldest trophies in the history of Canadian sports? The Minto Cup was originally donated in 1901 by the 4th Earl of Minto. The championship was restricted to amateur athletes, but soon enough, under-the-table professional teams were making their run for the cup. There were countless efforts to restrict the Minto Cup to only amateur athletes, but after 1904, this cup was up for grabs for all who chose to compete for it. They then decided that in 1910, the Man Cup would be given to the champions of the Amateur League, and the Minto would still be awarded to the winners of the Professional League. Finally, in 1924, when the Coast Professional League folded, the Minto Cup was placed into storage. After 12 long years of inactivity, the Canadian Lacrosse Association decided to revive the Minto Cup Championship, but this time award it to the Junior Champions of Canada. However, they did face a hurdle as they could not find where the Minto Cup trophy was kept. So stay tuned for more on the history of the Minto Cup.
Back inside the CAA Center here at the first intermission of game number 2 of this best of 3 semifinal series. I'm Matthew Carrick alongside Jonathan Donville. And Jonathan, an interesting first period, 3-2 for Whitby. A late goal there for the Miners, and I mean, if that bouncer goes in all the way down floor, that is such a momentum changer.
Yeah, I was going to say about 10 minutes through that period, I was thinking that was one of the most impressive periods we've seen from Whitby, really kind of flexing a muscle. We haven't really seen them. I thought they were kind of putting a dominant, finish to this this tournament, and then Edmonton said, no, we're right here. And how else?
Shocking, by the way.
Yeah, shocking, and more shocking was that it started predominantly with offensive zone loose balls, right? Something this team has been dominant at all year, or all tournament, I should say. So a great pushback there. This is a heck of a ball game we've got on our hands. I thought when Whitby got out there, they might have been running away with it a little bit.
Well, it's been impossible for them to create offense through faceoffs. The guys have been talking about it. We've got Jack Oldman for 6-0 in this game off faceoff so far. How hard is that to build momentum if you cannot get the ball back in your offense?
It's certainly hard, and it creates a math problem for you. Just so many more possessions going to Whitby. But I think the deficit is so much less important than not allowing goals. And Shanny's been spot on all call. And they've had a couple close calls, especially when Poitras is coming from the back. You know, it's still hard. The third guy takes Oldman, and then Poitras beats the fourth guy down the floor. So that's still presenting some challenges for Edmonton. But I think you just have to give up those face-offs and just not allow any scoring chances.
What a goal by Soroketti there. He's got 4 now in this final series as Whitby ran off 2 goals in 14 seconds at one point after the Miners were able to tie it up. And there's the goal that makes it 2-3 for the third time in this game. It is a 1-goal game.
Yeah, again, it's just been so tight all tournament long. Really good pushback there from Edmonton. I thought it was interesting when Bowen was talking to Paula at the intermission there, saying wanted to slow it down as part of our game plan, slow it down on offense. So they clearly want this game to be a 5-on-5 game, and I think that's where they're going to have success.
Yeah, and talking to Paul Hendrick, Jake Bowen said the bounce back performance from Melenichuk, we talked about it off the top. He is that bounce back goaltender. He got pulled last night, comes back and has a big performance. Obviously, we saw a bunch of the saves there as well. The fact that it's only 3-2, I think is huge if you're on the Miners bench.
Yeah, obviously Whitby also had those 2 quick goals, but something Whitby's done all tournament long is they always score on the next possession after a goal. They've been really good after a goal. And Melenichuk made a couple big ones after Miners goals and after Whitby goals, shutting the door, not letting his Whitby team get on a run, allowing his team to build some momentum. You're absolutely right. He's been really sharp here throughout the first period. 6
graduating players in the lineup for the Miners tonight, including Jack Royer and Jake Bowen, who have 2 of the goals for the Miners, actually both goals for the Miners, along with Captain Bennett Smith, Marcus Needham, Jacob Power, and the goaltender Keegan Lutch. Melenichuk. Right now, the graduating players are playing as the top players they should be.
Absolutely, that's something to be expected in this tournament, right? And the same is probably true for Whitby, right? With especially Poitras, Haley, some of their veteran defenders leading the way. Look, it's the age-old junior sports. Their careers are done if they lose this game, right? Playing lacrosse with your teammates is the most fun thing you can do. One of the best experiences you'll ever have in the game of box lacrosse is playing junior lacrosse. And if it doesn't go their way, it ends tonight. So you're just trying to extend it, get another day with your teammates, another day living this Minto Cup dream.
40 minutes away from finding out what that answer is, if it'll be Minto Cup Championship number 8 or if it'll be number 1 for the province of Alberta, living to see another day tomorrow. Alberta's in the house. You're watching the 2022 Minto Cup here on TSN.ca and Direct.
Welcome back. Court level, John Lintz, of course, the head coach of the club from Edmonton. Jake Bowen talked about his team and the performance in the first period, about playing Alberta lacrosse. How would you describe Alberta lacrosse, Coach?
Yeah, it's a gritty, hard-working period from us. We're pretty happy with the way our defense and offense performed there, and we expect more of the same in the second period here.
And as well, Melenichuk back in nets here tonight. Obviously, you're going to go back to him. Whenever he's had a tough spot, he seems to rally and be so resistant and resilient. What have you liked about his play here tonight?
Yeah, I think the best thing about him as a goalie is his sense of calm that he plays with and also gives our team. He's done that in the first period, and there's no surprise to see him have a bounce-back game.
Bench seems very calm and cool, collected as well. This is the 3rd elimination game for your team in this tournament. Does it only make you stronger?
Yeah, we have experience with that. We know what we're trying to accomplish on lacrosse for, so it's just eyes forward.
Thanks, John.
Thanks so much.
John, Joe, Shanny, back up to you guys.
Yeah, we're up here, Paul. Thank you. Yeah. You go back to your cubby hole back there. You're doing fine down there, by the way. So it is a 3-2 Whitby lead. And the Edmonton Miners know exactly what they have to do. They've got to continue to play the way they have, but they've got to get a little more finish around the net. They've had their chances.
Yeah, the shots are 18-16 for Whitby. That's a lot of shots for just 5 goals. You know, so both goaltenders have played very well. And, you know, Jonathan and Matt were talking about the fact that Edmonton's 0 for 6 on the faceoffs. They're not going to turn that around. They're pretty much conceding that Jack Ullman is going to dominate the faceoff. But that's why you see them lining 3 guys. And I've seen that happen in the NLL too. When there's like a stud on faceoffs you can't beat, and just say, okay, you can win every faceoff. We're just not going to give him a fast break. But as you said, it becomes more possession for one team.
And you're each time, and like the other night, of the 23 faceoffs that were held, Ullman had to win 80% of them, and that gives them the ball and another opportunity, which is probably the differential as far as shots on goal is concerned. Yeah,
you're making your defense work more, but that's a better alternative than fast breaks and goals. And so, you know, we'll see if they can keep doing that. And, you know, just the fact that they're lining up 3 guys on the defensive side shows that that's what they're going to do. I mean, Edmonton is still going to try to win these face-offs, but they're not going to allow, you know, a quick possession by Ullman to turn into a goal.
All right, here we go for the second period. Whitby defends to the right, and the Miners are to the left. Ullman and Ronan Push has been trying to, and he's not even contending.
He cheated. He just tried to go early. Yeah, he didn't care. He's going back, lining up on defense.
Whitby with the ball after the face-off win, and a 1-goal lead. Haley underneath shot went off a leg, bounces back. Pfeiffer into the corner, trying to work back out in front. There was Littlejohn. Littlejohn goes to the net. The pass was knocked away, and Edmonton comes away with the loose ball.
You know, in 18 shots for Whitby, I think Haley's probably had about 6 or 7 of them, and even a few opportunities that haven't made it to the net. But the guy likes to shoot. 74 goals in the regular season.
Charlie McFadden looking for an outlet. Finds one on the far side. The shot doesn't get through off the stick of Harris.
I'm absolutely amazed at how many block shots there are. You know, you see that so much more in lacrosse. Back in my day, that wasn't a thing that players did.
Ball's hard and it hurts.
Exactly. Yeah. We left it up to the goalies.
No, exactly. That's why he got that.
I'll put the stick in the way, not my body.
That's why he's got that stuff on.
Yeah.
Edmonton to the attack. Trying to go to the net was Needham, but they didn't get him the ball. It comes back out top. Gauthier trying to drive the net as well. The pass across doesn't get to him. Back out top for Harris. Harris got an avenue to the net with a right-hand shot, and that was stopped by Martin again.
And Martin has just routinely made those saves. That's a good scoring opportunity.
Good bit of work there offensively as they were able to isolate. On the right-hand side, shot taken there, stopped by Malenchuk.
That's a sneaky little play by Littlejohn. Like he got a very good scoring chance there, and a bit of a twister.
Whitby with the ball and a 1-goal lead. Driving there is Soroketti, and he is taken down, and the ball controlled by Edmonton.
Good defense. I like the fact that they knocked him down, but then immediately on his stick before he had a chance to get back up.
Blake Harrison, who did not play in game 1, gets the ball ahead for Edmonton and to the bench. And here are the Miners trying to set things up. Bowen on the near side, gets it back again. Jake Bowen, the pass down low, looking there for Royer, who was trying to drive the net. A hit turns the ball over, and Edmonton gets it back, but not much time. Oh, and a shot!
Oh boy, they
called.
called.
They're going to wave it off.
Oh, that was so close. I'm not so sure about that.
What an opportunity that was. I'm with you. I thought it beat the horn.
I thought it just beat, but I mean, you know, instantaneous call from the referee.
Whitby with the ball. Haley, and a penalty coming here. So a goal is called back, and now a penalty for high sticking. And Whitby is getting a big break here in the last couple of seconds.
Break for them, tough break for Edmonton, you know, and I think the time is coming soon, you know, whether it's next year or the year after, we're going to start seeing the ability for video challenges and all that. I think we now have the technology to do it. Fans at home get to see replays. Fans even in the rink get to see replays. So I think the time will be coming soon where we're going to do that. I don't blame the referees. They do a great job with what they have. But we see it in the NLL. I think we're going to see it here soon.
Haley, Poitras, ball in front. Shot just wide of the goal. Controlled by Edmonton in the crease. And they're going to have to get it up the floor as fast as they can and are going to beat the timeline and now try to kill off some time. Hudson Shivers working down the boards. Now has an avenue to the net. He goes right in, doesn't shoot it. Then when he did, it was over the shoulder and stopped by Martin. Pfeiffer brings it right back now for Whitby. Faked a shot. He's going to try and set the power play up that has 1:16 to go in it. Littlejohn gets it back. Boy, what a couple of nice plays he made in game one.
Oh, late in that game, he really showed his stuff.
Put the game away, really. A shot from outside, nicely covered by Malenchuk, who had to move from his right to his left and get low, and made the save. 55 seconds left in the power play. Dangerous pass there right along the timeline that could have backfired on them, but doesn't. Harris with a pass in, looking for a man into the slot. Driving the net there was Bennett Smith, the captain. And it'll be brought back as we get picture-in-picture to take a look at that last opportunity.
Oh, and this is actually a very nice shot from a defensive player.
Brought back now by Edmonton.
They'll try to eat up the rest of this penalty here. I don't think they're going to race to get a shot on net, and they shouldn't.
It will end with the time running out. The penalty will. This is Mander playing up top. In fact, none of their offensive players, really, their key players are on the floor. And one of the Whitby Warriors is slow to get up off the carpet. But the penalty now in 3 seconds will end as Power comes back onto the floor. Haley, as Whitby fails to score with the power play. They're 0 for 2 with the man advantage. Pass sent over there by Budway, off the wing, fired wide. Whitby with a rebound that goes onto the stick now of Haley, trying to drive the net. That's wide. And 4 seconds left on the clock, and it is Edmonton ball. Quickly brought back the other way by Mander. Kalen Mander trying to work down the right wing boards, gets into the corner. Mander thinking about going to the net, and it was smothered on the low drive, but I think he may have stepped in the crease too.
Yeah, I think he just ran out of real estate.
Quickly back the other way for Whitby, and a shot rings wide.
And that's huge for Edmonton. How many times has Whitby come out with Poitras coming out of the bench and scoring a big goal? So it's huge for Edmonton not to allow that.
McFadden dishes it off. This is Gauthier, number 17, the assistant captain. And an errant pass there, or
that's
turnover.
The second time. They've been called for the aggressive picks, over-aggressive picks. So that's the second time in the last minute that Edmonton's given up an offensive opportunity, because I like the aggressive picks, but they're getting caught on them.
Pfeiffer off on the wing. Whitby in with a shot, rolls to the line and in. Malenchuk got most of it, but when it squirted out of his equipment, it still had enough momentum to just roll in over the line.
Yeah, you gotta hate that when you're the goaltender. Who took that shot, Joe?
I thought it was Pfeiffer, wasn't it?
No, I think it was Poitras.
Poitras?
Yep. And he gets everything behind it. Oh man, it looked like he had it, just squeezed through.
Yes, it was Poitras. And it is a 4-2 lead. 6:12 the time of the goal here in the second period for Whitby.
And Edmonton just changed their face-off alignment, and they won it.
That's the first one tonight, isn't it?
Yeah. Whitby just doing an excellent job getting their sticks in the passing lanes. They've knocked down so many balls.
Oldman will give it off here. Riley Knox, who played his high school lacrosse at St. Andrews College up in Aurora. Dishing it off on the far side. Trying to drive there was Soroketti, but he thought better of it. Now he has it again. He'll get a shot away that doesn't make it to the net. And the scramble is on in the corner for a loose ball. And time will turn it over to Edmonton. We've played 7 minutes of the second period. Whitby has added to their lead. It's 4-2. Miners down into the corner. Up top for Luke Bowen into the corner. Bowen goes to the front of the net. Passed off into the far corner. Back out in front now. And another shot by Bowen is stopped. But a penalty coming in front of the net. Was that Jake Darlison who was knocked down in front of the goal? And a Whitby penalty will give the Miners their first power play opportunity of this contest.
Yeah, it looks like it's Kobe Hanser going to the penalty box. And let's watch this in front of the net. Okay, he would just flatten the player who didn't catch the ball. So you kind of knew that it was a matter of time before Edmonton was going to get a power play, and they didn't do well in their power play yesterday. They're going to have to make something out of it this time.
Hansor into the penalty box. Edmonton with the man advantage. Bowen on the near side. Sends it back up top. Royer is at the top. Now a pass looking on the far side for Davis Dame. Comes back to Bowen. He winds and shoots. Wired it wide. Rebound is back out and a race down the floor. Chance for a short-handed goal. Scores! The Warriors collect a loose ball, and guess who? Quadras with the goal on a foot race right from his own end.
And that's what we've been talking about all week. And Quadras, more than anybody on Whitby, takes advantages of these situations. The transition, whether it's from the bench, whether it's from defense, getting a loose ball. And that's just a big rebound that he gets, and you said it's a foot race, and Quadras had a fantastic tournament.
And what a backbreaker for the Edmonton Miners. You're on the power play. Well, they win the draw again. May have found something. Ronan Push was able to get it away from Oldman. And now was the situation in game one. They're just hoping to break even on this first power play.
And one of the things, I don't know if they're shooting too fine, or sometimes you just got to get the shot on net if they're aiming for corners, but they've missed. Late in the shot clock, you at least want it on the net for the reset.
Well, there's the reset on one shot. This is Davis Dame on the near side. Getting it up top, looking for Gauthier. Gauthier forced wide, and then a shot knocked away, but a fresh 30 again on the clock. Power play still in effect. Shot, Gauthier doesn't shoot it. Now he does. Off the mask.
Oh, my.
And Caleb Martin took that one right off the lookers. And I'm betting there's some stars floating around just a little bit.
It's good that he doesn't look at all groggy. He seems more concerned about
the mask,
fixing his mask than dealing with his head. So that's good news.
Let's go downstairs to Jonathan.
Yeah, guys, to Shanny's point about you just got to put some of these on net. Whitby's playing their penalty kill so tight. Trying to take away the cross-floor passes, cross-crease passes. Edmonton really just has to step in and shoot some of these because it's hard to get it through the box when Whitby's defenders are so tight. But that's just the bet that what Whitby's willing to make here is that they can't score enough outside shots, to be effective. But it's proven to be a pretty good strategy here so far for Whitby. Edmonton, I'm not sure what you do other than just hope that you can get some of these shots to fall.
And we've seen Whitby do this throughout the tournament. I think it was against Victoria, where they just left one of the Victoria's creasemen open, took everything else away. It's almost like they're daring you. They'll decide how they're going to let you beat them if you can. And I think Edmonton has to step up and take those shots. But just watching the replay of that shot, Joe, I think it hit more of the throat protector, and luckily didn't hit him in the head.
Oldman has won this draw and tries for the short-handed attempt. Had it knocked out of the stick right at the last second. Oldman again in front of the net looking for Poitras, who has scored the last 2 goals for the Whitby Warriors to build a 3-goal lead. Here's the Miners back to the attack. Gauthier to Bowen, far side, off the stick. Needham trying to come out. Another penalty coming here to Whitby, yes.
Just 7 seconds left on the shot clock. They're going to have to shoot soon.
Jake Bowen now to Gauthier, shot, and that rang wide, and here is the call. But the problem has been Whitby has taken advantage of most of the power play or the penalty kill situations by scoring.
Yeah, they got the shorty yesterday, the shorty today. And let's based on what Donville was telling us, they're playing it tight. I want to see those outside shots from Edmonton. I think if they're giving it to them, and watch the way Whitby's set up. They are very tight. The top 2 guys are not coming out challenging at all because they're intercepting those passes. I'd like to see a guy like Bowen just step into an outside shot.
Goaltender Martin going over to get a little bit of refreshment. They're allowed to do that after, I guess, goals or penalties.
Well, you know what?
Stoppage of time.
In the heat of the summer, referees let them do it almost any time they really need it. But good thing it's nice and air conditioned in here.
Here's the power play again for Edmonton. Losing his stick, and a shot rolls just past. Martin goes wide. Martin is able to play it off, and now here's Whitby again trying to work up the boards. Good defensive work there along the wall, but the ball comes free. Poitras again going to the net with a shot. Rang it off the crossbar.
Gosh.
He rang that right off the crossbar, or he'd have had 3 in a row.
He had no angle on the wrong side, and he came as close as you can without scoring a goal.
Bowen, far side, shot smothered by Martin. Boy, he's just steady, isn't he? Not
well. The strategy by Whitby's looking good when Martin is so good on the outside shots.
Clog up the middle. Don't let them inside. Here's Matthew Gauthier playing it off. Matthew's sister got involved in lacrosse. Her dad decided he'd better coach, and little Matthew went to the games and found out he kind of liked the game himself.
And he's a natural.
Yep. And here's Edmonton with 37 seconds left in the power play.
And that last power play that last opportunity with Gauthier right in front of the net was a nice one, but a good save by Martin.
Bowen out top with a hard shot, but doesn't get it past Martin. And a long lead pass is going to get up here on the wing for Peyton Wallace, who will take his time to get things changed. And just 9 seconds left in the minor to McDonald, who's in the penalty box. Pfeiffer taking his time. Lots of physicality on the boards here with Haley. Now Whitby with the ball. 8:11 to play in the second period. The Warriors can win the Minto Cup for an 8th time in their history. And they've got a 3-goal lead here in game 2. Harrison dishing it off, heading to the bench for Edmonton. Cross ice feed. Spinning move made there by Royer. Can't get a shot, and when it was delivered, it was sent wide and ends up in the seats. And there are a lot of youngsters who know where that ball is. Whitby to the attack and a 3-goal lead. Little John Dishes it back, but it's out of the reach, and now the foot race is on. Bennett Smith on a breakaway and on goal, and he threw it right into the shoulder of the goaltender and then collided with Martin, who got knocked on his keister.
Martin got up slowly. I was actually surprised that Whitby didn't get called for too many men. I thought their defenders came out early.
Shot kicked away by Malenchuk. Ball on the near boards. Get a look at this in our picture-in-picture.
Yeah, watch the save. Oh, not much of a bump.
Bouncing ball through the goal crease in behind the netminder Malenchuk, and it came out the right side as far as the Edmonton Miners are concerned. Miners need a goal here.
They sure do. You know, like
they've got to get some momentum going.
I think if you had told the Miners, oh, something happened. There's another penalty. I think it's Wallace.
Wallace was going to the bench, and he plowed into Jackson Ganton, and the official was there, and so the third power play opportunity of the game coming here for Edmonton. We'll get a look at it again.
Let's watch the right side of our screen. Right. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not positive that was intentional, but the effect still did the same. And you know what I was going to say, Joe, is if you had asked Edmonton, you know, 6 minutes left in the second period and you've held Whitby to 5 goals, you might say we're probably winning that game. But you know, Whitby's held them to 2.
6:29 left to play here in the period. Power play again for the Miners, and a shot doesn't make it through.
Another? No, I thought it was another penalty, just a turnover.
Gauthier to Bowen. Up top. Comes back to Bowen once more. Royer goes to the net but doesn't get a pass. Now Gauthier across for Royer. Royer winds. Back at Kuntzu. Shot scores! Matthew Gauthier gets a huge goal for the Edmonton Miners to cut the lead to 2 with 6:02 to play.
And they needed it. Their third power play in a row. Ineffective in the first 2. In fact, allowed a shorthanded goal. This time they mix it up a little bit, and the ball finally gets, that's a nice pass, a seeing eye pass, just squeezed through, and Gauthier puts that into the open side. That's actually his first goal of this finals, along with about 1 million assists. And it's a huge one for Edmonton.
Jonathan, what have you got down there?
I'm sure if you asked Peyton Wallace, he probably thought that was a bit of a dive on that last play, but still just a silly penalty at this time in the game. Edmonton, in my eyes, was kind of dead in the water there. They hadn't scored in this whole second period, aren't generating any offense. If you're on Whitby, you've got to find a way to stay out of the box. We're just giving them free offense there, kind of for no reason. And obviously a nice goal by Gauthier. Shandy, we've been talking about how they just need to shoot it. Jack Royer saying, oh yeah, watch this. Nice cross-crease pass, telling us who really knows what they're doing out there.
Luke Bowen and Royer assist on the power play goal. And a long shot into the equipment of Malenchuk. And 5:44 to go in the second period.
And following up on Jonathan's point, like, you know, even though their short man has been fantastic, you're playing with fire if you're taking 3 penalties in a row, because eventually you're going to get burned.
Here's Edmonton again with the ball. Behind the back pass. Oh, what a great play that was.
I think Martin got a piece of that. That was an excellent play.
Going hard to the net there was Needham, who took the pass. Now from outside, Jack Royer! Holy Mackinac, they're within 1.
Joe, I think it was Royer who scored on the outside shot yesterday when I said they couldn't score on the outside shot. And here's another great one, just up and down. He steps into the shot, and that's like too much room to give an elite shooter. They really gets to step into that top corner. Nothing Martin could do about that.
Royer 5 goals and 13 assists during the tournament.
Yes.
Gets a huge one here.
He's had a good tournament. One of the many Edmonton players who has.
And the scramble is on, and the ball awarded to Edmonton. So all of a sudden,
I was just going to say the same thing.
and now a chance. And a collision here, and look out now.
And there's a penalty on the play. I'm not sure which team's getting it, though.
Goaltender is back up on his feet. That's a good sign after getting clobbered there as Caleb Martin was drilled. But yeah, you're right. Where is the penalty here and who's getting it?
I'm going to guess they might be calling goaltender interference.
Gauthier is in a arm lock back of the goal. Davis Dame is having another word, but things have settled down.
And whatever the original penalty is, we'll see if they've added on to it. But, you know, with lacrosse rules, we don't add on extras when there's a scrum.
Well, the Edmonton player is heading to the box, and 2 Edmonton players are heading to the box. So Luke Bowen and Jacob Power are coming to the box, and it appears that...
and I think that's Bowen who takes the original shot, and yeah, it is Luke Bowen. And it's just, you know, his trajectory to the net, it's almost impossible not to hit the goalie, and that's what the call is. Reed is going as well, but so is Power. So is Lowen. Is that Lowen or
no,
Power?
Power is in, yeah. And Reed will join them for Whitby, so it will be
I'm sure it will be a power play for Whitby,
which will even that situation up at 3 apiece.
And I think that probably the biggest question in Whitby's mind is Caleb Martin all right, and it looks like he is. Here we're going to see it one more time. And I know he was pushed from behind, but I mean, generally referees are going to call that, even, you know, as long as you're not like slammed into your goalie, you know, from the defender, you know, because I think they feel that anytime somebody's going to the net and they get a little push and they use that as an excuse to go into the goalie. So you've got to, I agree, you've got to encourage them to try to avoid the goalie at all costs. 5 minutes though, 5 minutes, I'm surprised.
Oh, wow. So at this point, this is probably exactly what Bennett Smith, the captain of the Miners, is discussing here with the officials.
Yeah, this is, you know, just under 5 minutes left in the period. This is going to be a big 5 minutes for both teams.
So a 5-minute major penalty assessed. And 4 minutes and 56 seconds left here in the second period. So obviously, this is an enormous 5 minute. John Lintz getting it explained to him by the officiating crew. And here's another look at it.
Yeah, you know, and it's not like Caleb Martin is stepping way out of the net. So I think that's a good call. I don't know if I agree with 5 minutes, but
well, Jake Darlison gave him a pretty good shove at the end too. So I think that's where the discussion about the 5 minutes maybe, right?
Yeah. And you know what? You watch it. If you're Edmonton, you know, while you're ragging the ball, while you're trying to kill the time, they should be trying to go to the net, because you often see when there's a 5 minute penalty, the referees kind of feel that, I don't know, maybe next penalty's got to go to the other team, but you got to give them a chance. So if I'm a guy like Gauthier, I'm trying to drive to the net every time I get that ball, even though shorthanded.
So here's an opportunity for Whitby. Another look at this from another angle, as Luke Bowen drives the net and ends up piling into the netminder, and a 5 minute major penalty is the result. Power play Whitby. Dished off by Littlejohn. Back across in front of the net, unable to get a shot away.
Goaltender's
down. He's trying to scramble back up, and he does. And he gets a shot off the shoulder.
Oh,
try wearing that stuff, folks, and then see how agile you are when you end up down on the ground. Wow. Littlejohn gets it back, works to the middle. Gets it returned, winds it up, and a shot kicked away there by Malenchuk, who's got to have a huge 5 minutes in that goal here for Edmonton. Haley off on the far side, Poitras again. Keep an eye on him. Haley down into the corner. Looking for a man cutting to the middle was Littlejohn. Haley doesn't shoot it. Poitras doesn't shoot it. Haley back again. Trying to look a man back. Haley again. Time
Haley
running out. 8 seconds. There's a shot and they score!
Oh my
Brock
gosh.
Haley with a beautiful shot from outside as they move that ball around with authority, and 3:56 remains in the major penalty.
What an elite shooter this guy is. You know, they're moving the ball around. He's looking for the best opportunity, but with just a couple seconds left of the shot clock, he realizes he's got to take a shot, and oh my gosh, this is just beautiful.
16:08 the time of the goal. Young man who was just on fire in the regular season. And the scoring leader for Whitby. That's his 10th goal of this tournament and his 23rd point. And again, ball controlled by the power play. Littlejohn looking for the pass, goes through the middle, comes back outside. Haley! And he ripped it wide, and the rebound goes off his stick and down into Whitby territory. Here's Edmonton trying to get things rolling in a shorthanded avenue, being double teamed here. Got it off on the wing, down low, a backhand, what a shot! Connor Cook cuts across the middle, takes the ball over his shoulder, and then turns around. Was it Cook or was it Mander?
I think it was Mander.
Mander, you're right.
Mander, who had 2 short-handed breakaways earlier in the game, this time finds him. I'm actually shocked. Look how open he gets over the shoulder and for a huge short-handed goal. Though, you know, with still over 3 minutes left in the power play, still lots of work to do, but hugely important for Edmonton.
Certainly got everybody's attention, but what a nice shot from cutting across over the shoulder and in. Oldham wins the face-off there from Bennett Smith. And Whitby, Littlejohn, starting the power play out, working things to Poitras. Looks for Haley, finds him. Haley down low, return pass, now to the near side, no shot. Cross ice, Poitras, he lets it go. That bounds high, but is not going to clear. Long shot trying to gain a new 30 on the clock, goes for naught. And Edmonton, that really needs to carve some time off these penalties, hoping to go a full 30, unless of course they can do what you're suggesting, drive the net, see if they can't maybe draw a penalty.
And I like what Whitby's doing here. Whitby's not being overly aggressive to try to get the ball. They don't want to give any scoring opportunities. They've got a man who's just sort of playing in front of the net as a safety. And I'm also thinking, oh my gosh.
Whoa, big rebound off and a shot. Oh, great opportunity there for Matthew Gauthier.
And if I'm Whitby, I'm also thinking, you know, I don't want to be like overly aggressive out here because you just, like I was saying earlier, sometimes the referees just look to make that make-up call.
Here's the power play working again. Haley, Poitras into the slot area, trying to go to the net. Good defensive play. Some strong coverage in front of the goal. And a good play again by Krewokin as it was knocked away, and he has the ball now to get it ahead. Don't get to mention the defensive guys as often, do we?
No, and that's why it's so nice when you got a guy like Mander scoring a big short-handed goal.
Here's Bowen in for Gauthier. Gauthier across, can't get a shot. Now a shot is into the equipment of Caleb Martin, but 1:28 remains in the power play.
And you know, it feels like Edmonton has killed so much of this penalty, but as you said, still 1:25.
1:13 left in the period. A 1-goal game. Haley, Poitras, down low, covering the post on the short side. Nice save by Keegan Malenchuk. Ball on the carpet, and still free. Battling for it is Lucas Littlejohn. Littlejohn is roughed up. Now we've got the ball coming free to Haley. Haley fakes, goes to the net, wires it wide. Rebound, and Edmonton trying to break up the floor. As rushing it up is Push, and he's just going to try and cool things down just a little bit, giving it off to Charlie McFadden, who will go to the bench.
Well, they should be able to kill most of this penalty.
14 seconds on the clock. 26 left in the period.
There we go. There we go.
Boy, you should be a referee. You know, it's amazing how you're able to come up with this stuff like right out of the blue. Amazing.
Well, you know, it's going to happen. I mean,
it's called human nature, I think, Shanny.
The stick slipped up high. The referee knows he's got to make a call.
Wallace gets the penalty. And Edmonton, regardless of what happens in the next 15.5 seconds, is going to go to the dressing room saying, you know what?
Bad.
That was a big
dodged
kill.
a bullet. Yep.
Dodged a huge bullet.
I'm just looking out here whether they're pulling the goalie or not, and they are. And I think it's the right move because it's 4-4 lacrosse. You pull your goal, you get to play 5-4, but obviously you got to play for the last shot now. Don't do what they did last time when they gave up the ball with 4 seconds ago. Poitras put it off the post.
10 seconds ticking. Last shot attempt. Bowen. Gauthier, far side, in front for Gauthier! Scores! Holy Mackinac, they've tied the game with 0.2 of a second. Never mind the good feeling about killing the penalty. This is down to a 20-minute game, or maybe more.
That's absolutely huge. With 5 minutes to go in a period, the down 2, give up a 5-minute major, and they come out with 2 goals. Yeah, they're going to go to the dressing room feeling good about the way they finished this. And Coach, man, that guy just loves a battle in front of the net.
19:59 will be the time. Don't even have to worry about the face-off, and they don't. But what a period that comes to a conclusion with Matthew Gauthier tying the game for the Edmonton Miners, and we are going to go to the third period deadlocked 6-6. And Paul Hendrick, let's get down to you.
Joe, thank you, Jack Royer. Well, you guys are back into it. 6-6, a very resilient lacrosse team here tonight in the deep depths of the province of Ontario. Tell me about the second period, the ability to capitalize on the power play, a shorthanded goal as well, and get yourselves back into this championship.
Just like the first period, our team is the most resilient team in this tournament, probably in this country. We know that when even we're down, we're not out of it, and we just got to keep chipping away.
It's been a battle. It's your third game against this team from Whitby over the course of the last 6 days. How do you stay disciplined to enable yourselves to stay out of the box and not give them the chances they would like to get back?
Just keep playing our game. We know that if we play our game, no one can beat us.
And the opportunity to extend this to tomorrow night with the next 20 minutes. What can we expect to see from you guys in terms of energy, or do you maintain the course with what's got you here so far?
Just expect us to keep playing hard. We're playing for our 5th years, we're playing for our province, we're playing for all the people that came before us, and we're just going to go out there and do what we can to win this game.
Rocky Mountain.
Yeah, thank you.
Jack Royer, let's get ready to anticipate what should be a very entertaining intermission. We're all tied up at 6-6. Whitby, Edmonton, the Minto Cup on the line, either for one team in 20 minutes time or beyond, or perhaps we get to do this again tomorrow night. Looking forward to it. We'll be back with more from Brampton in just a moment.
On our family dairy farm, there's a saying that the sun doesn't start the day, we do. It's our daily reminder to be our best, make our best. And that our dairy farm doesn't just take care of our family, it's part of something bigger. That's dairy done right.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat. Carbs to help fuel your working muscles. And fluids to help you hydrate. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing. Gatorade.
The Minto Cup went missing when Charlie Welsh, the last remaining Minto Cup trustee, suddenly passed away on February 25th, 1938. Aside from not knowing where the actual trophy was hidden, the CLA did not have the legal right to hand out the award to the next season's winner. And unfortunately, Mr. Welsh's wife died just an hour after him, so the line of succession was lost. The CLA had to write a letter to the Lord of Minto in Scotland in order to get legal rights to hand out the trophy. Now that the legal side of the competition was sorted out, the more critical question of where was the cup needed to be resolved. After 7 months of searching, they were finally able to revive the trophy that was hidden in a desk in Charlie Welsh's Harbour Commission office. Finally, in 1940, the trophy was sent to Montreal to be refurbished, and years later, here we are, competing for that same Minto Cup trophy. I'm Mackie Jenner, and that's the history of the Minto Cup.
We're back inside the CAA Center, the home of the 2022 Minto Cup, and somehow we have a tie game after the second period. We had a bunch of notes ready, but what doesn't really matter. Edmonton Miners are playing in this game, and they flipped the script yet again. How on earth do they keep doing this, Jonathan?
It's funny, Royer said at the end of the period, though, he thinks they're the most resilient team in this tournament, maybe in the country.
In the country.
A pretty bold statement, but I think I agree. One of the most resilient teams, frankly, that I've ever seen. Every time you count this team out throughout this tournament, they just keep coming back. They were absolutely, in my opinion, I think dead in the water in that period. It was 5-2. They hadn't scored in a long time. They get a lucky break to go on the power play, and then they create their own luck for the rest of the way. They get one to go, and then on the power play, and then they get a really tough bounce on the 5-minute call against Bowen. You know, whatever your thoughts on that are, that looked like it might have been a death sentence for this team in this game. Ended up getting that power play out to even. Gauthier gets a big one at the end. Just when you're about to write this team off, they say, no, we're sticking around.
Here is that big call, and it was 5 minutes for roughing was the call for Bowen, so I was kind of hoping we'd see a bit more of the scrum to see if you did anything in there to kind of add on. I think you have to call something there just because of what happened afterwards, but as you said, the 5 minute was somewhat of a head scratcher for I think a lot of people here in the arena. But it almost seemed to ignite the comeback for this Miners team. That is just absolutely disgusting. I had down in my notes to talk about Kalen Mander, who had a tremendous period and gets rewarded with a goal.
Yeah, he was fantastic. This Edmonton team is just so deep. Seems like it's a new guy that steps up for them every game. And Mander, when his team really needs one, scores a beauty. You know, it looks like he's been scoring goals his whole life, as I'm sure he has, but a big moment to step up and really make a nice play for his team.
It's funny, when I go back to that Ontario semifinal series, when they were in there, we saw, rough stuff. It exploded against Orangeville in that series, but it was mostly Whitby throughout the beginning of that were staying away from the rough stuff. And 4 penalties in that period almost allowed the Miners to get back in this game.
Yeah, and just unnecessary. Most of them are just unnecessary, right? Like Wallace in front of the bench. It's just a penalty you don't need to take. And I think that's going to be the message for Whitby in the locker room here is we just got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot here. Edmonton rather has really struggled to score in this game, and really in the first 2 games of this series at 5-on-5. They let them back. Whitby let them back into this game by giving them power plays. And credit to Edmonton for stepping up and taking them some really nice power play goals, finding ways to facilitate the ball through the middle of the floor and into the middle of the floor. And that last one for Gauthier. So doing a nice job on the power play, but Whitby just giving them opportunities that they don't need to have.
For those of you scoring along at home, our Holy Mackinac counter sits at 4 throughout this tournament. We got 2 of them in that period. Again, the 3rd elimination game of the tournament for this Miners Lacrosse Club. And you heard it there in the interview, excuse me. The most resilient team in the country. I mean, they came through the last 2, and I think there's something about that.
Yeah, there has to be. And this team is feeling good in the locker room, whereas in the Whitby locker room, we're kind of trying to reset a little bit right now. But give these Whitby guys credit, too. They haven't lost in a long time. They've showed a lot of resilience. No, this wasn't they weren't the number 1 seed in Ontario. They didn't run through the whole season without adversity. So this team is ready for it, this Whitby team, and this is still a tie game. Lots of lacrosse left to be played, and 2 teams that might be feeling differently right now in the locker room. Expect them both to come out on fire here in the 3rd.
Here's a look at Caleb Martin, who throughout that Ontario final, I mean, we thought he was a bit shaky. We might see the graduating player, Liam Wright, who has not touched the floor in this series, partially because Caleb Martin has just been dynamic from get-go.
Yeah, he's been dynamic, and it's really allowed Whitby to shape their whole defensive strategy around him, which is to play inside-out defense, really give up the outside shots, especially on the power play. If your goalie's not seeing the ball, you just cannot play that way.
3 more graduating players that we talked about. We did talk about off the top of the show. Adam Patras, Parker Pfeiffer, Brock Haley now have 5 goals between the 3 of them through 2 periods here in this game. It took Patras 2 periods to get to his first point, and they're really stepping up in the big game.
Yeah, exactly. And it's going to be the 5th years that step up here in the end of the game. You got to imagine. This is the biggest stage in Ontario or in Canadian lacrosse. It's the 3rd period of the Minto Cup. This is why you play the game when you're a little kid. Someone's got to go out there and make a play, right? When it comes to this level, you know it's going to come down to the end of the game. You know it's not going to be a blowout. Someone's got to step up and make a play. There's a good list of candidates to do it, but someone's going to do it. I can't wait. This is as good as it gets. 3rd period of the Minto Cup final. Let's go.
If this is the last time we get the opportunity, we want to thank Mackie Jenner for appearing in our intermission clips. Of course, as I've been calling her, the better Jenner throughout this period. The goal song for the Miners this tournament has been Paul Brand's Alberta Bound. And one of those lyrics says, I'm Alberta bound till I die. And the Miners are hoping that their dream of the Minto Cup does not die within the last 20 minutes. I don't know how we're here, but we're tied 6-6 going into the final frame. It's a resilient Miners Lacrosse Club. Do they have one more goal than Whitby in them to bring us back here tomorrow night? We'll find out on the other side of this break. This is the 2022 Minto Cup on TSN.ca and TSN Direct.
The setup for the start of this third period, Sean Williams, your club is tied here 6-6. How do you get back into this game on your terms where we were?
Where would you rather be? You got 20 minutes, everything's on the line. That's what we've been playing for this, the whole season, and we're ready. Let's have at her.
Caleb Martin and nets, nice insurance policy, isn't it?
Absolutely, he's been doing great for us, and boys are confident, we're confident. You just got to lay it on the line.
All right, let's get at her. Thank you. Back to you guys.
Might want to get a lozenge for Sean there. And
I think he's been yelling out there. But
I think so.
You know what I love about Sean Williams? So he loves to embrace the moment. It's not like I'm nervous, what's going on. It's like
where would you rather be?
He just loves this stuff.
And rightly so. Good for him. Now, Luke Bowen has 4 seconds left in his penalty, and then Edmonton is going to the power play, and here we go. And the struggle is on for the loose ball, and it is Oldham who comes up with it and now drives to the net and hit the goal post. Oh, boy.
Oh, my gosh. That's
oh, boy.
A huge save by the goalie's best friend. That's the first time that Oldham has been able to take it straight to the net and turn it into a scoring opportunity.
And because there were 4 seconds left in the penalty, the man situation was a little bit different, played on that power play. But now here is Edmonton with the man advantage. Pass to the near side, goes off a stick. Going to be controlled just there by Needham, but time has run out. Minute 4 left to go in the man advantage for Edmonton. Game tied 6-6. And we're glad you're along with us. This is going to be a dandy third period. Edmonton facing elimination. Whitby trying to win the Minto Cup. Soroketti in a defensive posture here, trying to kill off some time. Still with it, now thought about going to the net, but runs into a traffic jam in 3 Edmonton Miners, but comes away with the ball. And time has run out. Wow, I thought they might have had and they are giving the turnover to Whitby.
I think that late hit just ensured it. A little bit of a sloppy play by Edmonton.
Bennett Smith.
And that'll quite possibly allow them to kill the rest of the penalty, but still.
Double teamed in the corner. And is the ball, well, your guess is as good as mine. Hack, whack, and slash, and finally dug out.
Oh, and Edmonton's getting a penalty for slashing.
Wow.
Captain Bennett Smith
going to the box.
I really hope this game doesn't become a parade to the penalty box. I love that the referees have let them play. I don't want to make a judgment on this one until I see it.
So Whitby is going to get a power play in 18 seconds time. The captain of the Miners in the box.
And that'll be 7 minutes of penalty time in about the last 7 minutes of play, or I guess the last 9 minutes of play.
So they have been back on their heels, but not on their backs. The Miners have fought back a couple of a shorthanded goal and a power play goal, and it is tied 6-6. Here's Quattrus over on the far side. A shot whistles wide. Quickly gathered off the end boards, and a quick break here for Edmonton. Man short now for sure. On the near side, it comes to Connor Cook. Cook will dish it off, and Gauthier finding Bowen. Here's Bowen trying to drive, then takes it into the corner, trying to move his way out in front. Lost the handle on it. Works to the far boards to try to maintain possession, but has done a decent job in killing off some time. Minute to go in the power play for Whitby. Quattrus getting it off on the wing and getting it returned. Haley again. Quattrus once more. Down in the near corner. And a shot fired wide. Rebound is corralled there by Mander. Mander racing it up the floor. One hand's over on the near side for Ronan Push. And Push will make a bounce pass in along for Jack Royer.
That was a wide open scoring chance for Little John, and he just missed the net.
Bowen gets it into the corner, goes in front of the net, but unable to find him there was Gauthier. Gauthier double teamed in the corner. Pass off the boards to the near side, and time will run out. 12 seconds, though, just left in the power play for Whitby.
Well, more than likely, Whitby's just going to wait for this man to come on the floor. They don't want to take a late shot and potentially give up a breakaway.
And coming out of the box is Bennett Smith. So everything back to full and even strength, and a chance scores! Nice fake made by Lucas Littlejohn, who was so instrumental in the third period last night. Gets a huge goal here to restore a Whitby lead 7-6.
You know, it's smart play by Whitby. They didn't take the shot as the man is in the penalty box. They're waiting until he gets away from that dangerous rebound area, but it was just unsettled situation for Edmonton. And finally, when they all overreacted to the potential outside shot by Haley, and that left Littlejohn wide open. I mentioned just a minute ago, he missed a glorious scoring opportunity. This time he puts it in.
So a 1-goal lead now for the Whitby Warriors after Lucas Littlejohn from Clarington breaks the tie. Ball on the floor, and it is Edmonton who is able to control the face-off. McFadden gets it down into the zone, being double teamed around back of the net. Tripped up and knocked down in the corner. Edmonton comes away with it, though, and now we'll try and set things up. Needham winds it up, doesn't shoot it. Works around, still with it. Needham with some room, and a shot is swallowed up there by Caleb Martin. Whitby with the ball. Dempers over on the far side, and the pass back. Sorketti tried to get it off on the wing, but it's going to bound into the stick of the goalkeeper. And a long lead pass is finally corralled and brought forward. Push. Dishing off. Gauthier works to the right wing side. Gets the return pass. Matthew Gauthier in the corner. Getting it back out on top. Here's Luke Bowen into the corner. He peels to the bench, or to the front, and the pass then off Davis Dame was knocked away. Whitby with the ball. 5 minutes into the books, into the third. Warriors with a 1-goal lead, trying to win the Minto Cup. Edmonton hoping they've got another night of action left in them. Here's Poitras, had it knocked out of the stick, got it returned. Pass in front, swallowed up by Edmonton. Chivers got it ahead. Push across the line. Edmonton now organizing. Needham dishing it back, got it returned. Needham tries to drive, no, doesn't go to the net. Now he does, scores! Marcus Needham looked like he was going to make the pass, Shanny, but then just took it to the net and ties the game.
Yeah, fantastic goal, and they did need it. Edmonton did an excellent play. You're right. And watch how he does the little stutter. Looks like no one to go to. Then he decides, now I'm going to drive to the net. And it's just that little extra dive that makes some room. Watch this here. You know, looks like he's going to shoot an extra dive. Puts it in.
5:37 the time of the goal. His first of the game and his 7th of these tournament games. 7-7. Whale of a game here. Whale of a game. Oldham, though the scrap was on for the ball, they're going to give it to Whitby. And Oldham trying to bring it back in, had it knocked off the stick, controlled here by Edmonton.
Some aggressive stick checks by Edmonton to get the ball back.
Smith with a good fake is able to get it in to the time area, and now here's Luke Bowen dancing.
Oh boy.
dangerously close to the line, but getting it off to Gauthier. Now to the big brother on the far side. Back to Gauthier. No, it comes back to Royer. Royer with a shot. That's why the rebound!
Oh boy, for a second I thought he had put that in off his own back.
Well, there was a bit of celebration there by one of the Edmonton forwards, Gauthier, but no call from the official. 7-7 is our score. Poitras' shot bounces high. He's able to regain it off the end glass. Controls with 8 seconds left in the time. Behind the back pass for Poitras. He is not. Well, he is going to get to the front of the net, but not before paying a price.
My gosh, yes, that's you got to have a lot of guts to make that dive to the net when the second player is coming in to hit you.
Turnover goes to Edmonton. The format for overtime, and it is a little ways away, but you should know they will play 10 minutes of regulation play, and then
look up the floor there, Joe.
There's a lead pass again, in on goal. Great save made there. Haley going to the net hard.
Yeah, Haley got a good jump off the bench, and Edmonton wasn't able to get back there in time to take away the opportunity and a big save.
So to refresh again on the overtime, then it would be 20 minutes. There'd be an intermission after the first overtime period of 10 minutes. Then sudden death in a 20-minute period. Here's Edmonton trying to flip in front of the goal. Royer couldn't get his stick on it, and time has run out. 7-7 the score. Brought on now by Poitras.
Both teams have been hitting hard. There's a lot of hard cross checks going on out here.
Haley got it off onto the wing. Pfeiffer now for Poitras. Little fake, trying to get a screen set up, but a pass goes off a stick. Turnover. Whitby, long lead pass, and it's going to be out of the reach of Jacob Power, who was roaring up the middle of the floor. Couldn't quite get it under control. And Whitby with the ball again into the attacking zone. Looking again near side for Soroketti. Now Poitras late coming on the offense. Nifty little move inside with another chance. Couple of fakes, doesn't work from behind. Trying to bank it in off the goaltender's back. What a clever little play that was.
Oh, it was a beautiful play by Pfeiffer. A little toe drag with his stick to sneak in.
Needham, who's gotten, we get another look at it, picture in picture.
And he just ran out of space. Tried to bank it in off the goalie from behind the net. You can't do that, actually.
Needham to Royer, shot, stop, good save made there by Martin. And brought back now by Soroketti. Soroketti, left-handed shooter, working to the middle, looking for an outlet, running out of options. Finally finds a man on the far side, and then gets it returned. Soroketti near side, Poitras. Poitras winds and shoots, trying to get it low in between the legs of goaltender Malenchuk, and he shut the door.
Yeah.
A much improved performance from Keegan Malenchuk after he was pulled in game one of this championship series.
Those are the ones that Poitras has been scoring on the whole tournament. He's such a dangerous shooter. Those are big saves.
Bowen in the far boards looking for a pass that doesn't reach its intended receiver initially. Now here's a chance, in with a shot off the goal post. Great shot by Jack Royer. Royer has it again, and turnover here to Whitby. Brought back by Darlison. A pass that goes off a stick is going to create a problem for Haley, but he's able to control it. Haley to the near side. Poitras with it again. Didn't shoot it. Back to Haley. Haley tries to make a move, goes down into the corner. Brock Haley with it again in traffic, scores! Oh, wow. There was enough traffic in front of Malenchuk. I don't know if he saw the release point of this, but it bounces into the net, and Haley has Whitby in front by 1.
And not many players can take a shot like this. Like Haley's running across the floor. His angle's getting worse and worse. But this is still an excellent shot. This is not a bad goal. Lots of power, and I agree with you, Joe. I'm not sure that Malenchuk actually saw that.
But a bounce shot by Haley. That's his 3rd goal of this game. And his 12th of the tournament. And Whitby once again has the lead. They fell behind 23 seconds into this game, but have either had the lead or been tied ever since. So for Edmonton, it's really been an uphill struggle throughout the course of this game from the early stages.
Yeah, and you know, you got to think Whitby has not played down late in the game, and we don't know if they will, but it's interesting getting back to the face-off, Joe. That's the first time I actually saw Whitby's now the team lining up 3 guys back, and that's just to be a little bit conservative late in the game.
Here's Needham, far side for Bowen. Bowen back for Needham, trying to get a shot away as Gauthier, and it was off and into the corner. Whitby ball.
Gauthier able to power and fake his way to a great scoring opportunity, just miss it.
Ball on the carpet, and a good hit there to stand his man up, but Poitras is after it, then he gets nailed, and he is nose first into the end boards and getting up a little bit slowly, but is okay, but now has the ball and feels much better for his efforts.
A little over-aggressive by Gant when they need that ball back.
Shot off the goaltender. He didn't know where it was. Malenchuk had to search around for it. And now it is Edmonton ball. Brought back up with 8:18 to play in the 3rd period. Mander looking for an outlet, still with it. Kalen Mander goes to the bench. Bowen on the far side looking for a man, comes back high, quickly to the near side. And a firing shot, rolling, and just covered by goaltender Caleb Martin. Luke Bowen got that away and had a little mustard on it.
Yeah, Martin wasn't sure where that ball was, but good body position, was able to keep it out.
Brought ahead now by Dempers. Whitby with the ball. Soroketti, near side. Dempers got it off on the wing. Poitras getting a bit of a respite here as a long shot is into the equipment of Keegan Malenchuk, and Edmonton will go to the attack. 7:26, a 1-goal game. Whitby with the lead, trying to win the Minto Cup here tonight. An Edmonton victory would force a Game 3, a final game tomorrow evening here again at the CAA Centre in Brampton. Nice gathering on hand here to enjoy this one, and a scramble in front. And the shot taken by Gauthier goes over the net, and is there a penalty?
Yeah, penalty to Whitby. And this is, you know, what I was talking about earlier. Now, Gauthier has the ability to drive to the net, and if he's not getting a scoring chance, he can draw a penalty. He's just so big and strong.
And the diminutive Scott Reed is coming to the penalty box.
Yeah, he might not be a big guy, but he plays a big game, I'm telling you. But yeah, look at Gauthier just, you know, driving to the net. And I'm not sure exactly what the penalty was.
Okay, now I sometimes have to argue with statistical information. They have Scott Reed listed as 5'9".
Yeah, you know what?
Okay, I was 5'8". I'm now 5'7". I'm taller than he is. But he is all heart, that's for sure, and tough as nails. Power play for Edmonton. Pass taken there by Royer, didn't work. It comes back outside. Oh, how did Martin get over there? corner.
Oh, Martin.
What a save off Marcus Needham.
That is an excellent play. Needham had the wide open side, and that's just, you know, the good goaltenders realize where the pass is going and just reacting.
Double teamed now. Edmonton trying to pry the ball free, and they have. And it'll be brought back offensively by Connor Cook, who goes to the bench. Minute 16 left in the power play. Jack Royer. What a save by Martin, though. Royer with it again, doesn't shoot it. Up top, near side, looking back, another pass.
Oh,
fake shot by
play.
Needham, didn't work. Needham back to Royer, cross to the far side. Bowen couldn't handle it cleanly. Now gets a shot away, and a toe save made there by Martin. The ball on the carpet, it's a fresh 30 for Edmonton if they can control it, and they have.
That's an important Lucy for them to get.
Needham
in that scrum.
Waiting for the rest of the offense to come on, who had to go to the bench.
Needham had a similar scoring opportunity as the other one, and he
shot there, and again Martin makes an excellent save coming across.
And he didn't shoot this time. I think it's almost spooked by that great save. I'm actually surprised Whitby threw that ball away.
Wallace just threw it down the floor.
Well, you've only got 8 seconds to get it over half, so perhaps he felt he was running out of time. But
10 seconds left in this power play. Royer off to Bowen, and the shot scores! Luke Bowen ties the game at 8.
Oh my gosh. And you know what's funny? That the penalty was just expiring. He was doing what I said you never do. He's taking a shot as a man stepping out of the penalty box. But you know what? This point in the game, you got to take risks. If you're going to get a chance to shoot, you're down by a goal. 5 minutes to go, so he said, I'm taking that shot. I don't care if this guy's stepping out of the penalty box. You see Reed is stepping out right there. If that's a save, it's up the floor for a breakaway. I don't mind that risk at this point in the game, and it pays off for the younger Bowen.
5th goal of the tournament for Luke Bowen, and this game is tied.
Oh my gosh.
What a great game. Ball on the carpet, and Edmonton with it, and a breaking in a goal! Shoulder save made by Martin. Great play. Captain Bennett Smith with the break.
He scored a huge goal against Victoria, the insurance goal late in the game, and got a great opportunity there, but Caleb Martin continues to be one of the heroes for Whitby.
Whitby with the ball. Soroketti, far side. Wind up, but no shot. Now when it does come, it's off the shin pad of Malenchuk in an 8-8 game. And we talked at the beginning, Shanny, about they're not going to score 20, but they have to defend better. We're talking about Edmonton, and they have. They really have.
They have.
Bowen gets it into the corner. Coming out of the corner was Harris. Over on the far side, driving the net, and a collision, and the ball goes free. Whitby ball. Brought on by Reed, who took a real whack, and then takes another couple for his efforts.
The fans calling for a penalty there.
I suppose if you're one of an Edmonton player, and you've been getting hacked and whacked by this guy who never has the ball in his stick, when he does, it's time to get a little repay, isn't it? And Reed has certainly been demonstrating lots of physicality at the other end of the building. Shot goes wide, bounces back to the point. 3 minutes and 14 seconds to play in the third, and we are tied at 8. Edmonton, 8 seconds on the clock. Long shot too high. On the wing, and a pass in front doesn't work, and time will run out, but Edmonton unable to control. Quickly brought the other way now by Whitby. Working in now is Tapper. Couldn't get a shot away. He scored an enormous goal in the first game of this best of 3. Haley into the corner. Tapper out at top. Doesn't get the pass. Haley again. trying to go to the net. And the pass goes off his stick and into the corner. Grabbed off there by Owen Tapper. He's going to bank it behind the goal. And time is going to run out. The ball goes in the net, but it's too late. All right, they're even.
I actually thought they got that shot on net in time. And I think the Whitby fans feel it too.
Well, they're even then, because we had a similar situation befell the Miners in the second period.
No, you're right. You're right.
Bowen gets it off on the wing. Back to the near side to his younger brother, Luke Bowen, but a turnover here with 2 minutes and 8 seconds to go. Neither team has used their timeout. Overtime looming, an 8-8 tie. Poitras, and the crowd getting into it here as well. Poitras off on the far side. Coming to the front of the net, Haley. Pfeiffer gets it to Poitras. Poitras back into the corner. Pfeiffer getting it back, looking for Poitras, a shot. Good save made by Malenchuk. Puck goes to the Whitby Warriors, though, with 1:34 to go. Fresh 30 on the clock. Bounce pass, near side, Soroketti. Soroketti trying to drive. No, his pass, though, is a bad one. Off the chest of the Edmonton player, but now a double team here, and it is scooped up though and brought on by the Miners, but a horrible play made there by Hudson Shivers. Just kind of a haphazard one-handed flip, and the ball got over top of its receiver. Huge play here, minute to go, oh my.
And they've just played a lot of defense, and they're gonna have to play a little bit more.
Pass to the near side. Poitras smothered by Malenchuk. And he will save the bacon of Hudson Shivers.
Hudson Shivers going to hug him when he gets a chance.
Now, with 45 seconds left, an opportunity for Edmonton to get the go-ahead goal. Running out of room, it comes back to the blue line. Bowen to the far side, a shot wide. Luke Bowen hoping to corral, and he does. Long pass, far side his brother, trying to drive. No pass in front of the goal, and the shot was deflected off the stick of Davis Dame and goes out of play. 21.7 seconds left in regulation, and a timeout called by the Whitby Warriors and their coach, Sean Williams.
Oh my, Joe. This has been an excellent game. We'll just see some of the highlights from the third period. I think it started with a couple of goals. That was Little John scoring on the power, or just after the power play had ended. Needham dives across. That ties it up at 7. And we're going to see Haley make it an 8-7 game going across the floor, but a beautiful shot. And after that, I think it was Luke Bowen on the power play as it was winding down. That's actually a save by Caleb Martin. Here's the power play goal, or whether it was a power play or just after, it doesn't matter. But I'm nervous, Joe.
Hey,
I'm
you're
not even playing. I'm not playing.
So, Jonathan, quickly, what can we have down there?
If you're an offensive player right now for Edmonton, this is the most hopeless feeling ever, because you know you don't control it. You just got to hope. And again, I said it during the regular season, the smartest lacrosse guy in this arena had the clipboard during that timeout. Sean Williams, one play to win a Minto Cup. Let's see what they come up with.
21.7 seconds. Here we go.
Well, I'm going to draw Poitras or Haley to shoot.
No kidding. Well, it's Poitras with the ball. 13 seconds.
Oh, and they got to play for the last shot. The goaltender's pulled.
Poitras holding, dishes it off, gets it back again, looking for Haley, an errant pass. Oh, gobbled up though by Whitby, and a shot deflects wide at the buzzer. At the buzzer. So, a 20-minute regular period. Or 10 minute regular period
10
will
minute,
be played.
Not sudden death.
Correct. And if still tied, then
we go to sudden death.
After a timeout and a respite into the dressing room for the teams. Oh. This is... Brock Haley has had another big night. 3 goals for the Whitby forward. An offensive star.
Yeah, that was the 3-1 goal in the first period. This one was the outside shot on the power play. I think that was the second period. Yeah, that was on the 5-minute major. And yeah, 1 goal each period. And this is the goal that briefly gave him the 8-7 lead. Brock Haley's had a fantastic tournament.
I trust they're going to announce this to the fans because
earlier in the week they announced it wrong. You were there, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, earlier in the week they said sudden death, and everybody's going, what? That's a lacrosse thing, is the 10-minute period.
Great goaltending, and this was an enormous save off.
That sure was.
Marcus Needham.
That was on a power play, and yeah, Needham had a wide open net, but great reaction.
Henny, who have you got?
Head coach here, John Lentz. Here we are, overtime for the second time in 6 days between the two teams. A little different now, a lot on the line. What have you told your kids here to get ready for the next 10 full?
Nothing changes for us. We got to keep doing a job and stick to our systems. I think this is the time of the game where ballers come through, right? We need somebody to make a play, and I think they will.
I chatted with you Monday morning briefly. The one thing that stood out was resilience. Have you seen that here tonight from this squad?
Of course. I mean, at 5-2, we could have stopped playing our game. We could have started running around and looking for reasons to take penalties. We stuck to our plan, and we're in a good position now.
Thanks for the entertainment. More to come.
Thank you so much.
All right, Joe, Shani, back up to you.
Grab some equipment, Paul. Get in the game. I still remember him walking onto the floor and talking with the Rock goaltender with about 10 seconds left in a tie game.
Yeah, Paul pushed the boundaries on interviews, player interviews, anywhere.
Poitras with the ball. This is not sudden death. And a shot caroms off the goalkeeper, and a fresh 30, though, for Whitby. Poitras getting the return pass. They will not switch ends, even if it goes to a sudden death period. You will still have the home side, and a shot is smothered, and diving out onto it is Keegan Malenchuk. Edmonton has played more. Whitby, of course, had the extra day off, so we will see what kind of legs everybody has here. But right now, the importance of this and the excitement, there's nothing.
And Joe, do you agree with coach's decision to go back to Malenchuk?
Yes, I sure do. Yep. Good save made there by Caleb Martin. The adrenaline is running rampant on both benches here to this overtime period. Poitras off the right side. Doesn't think he can drive. Goes back out top. Now a bounce shot that goes wide. Corralled again. Another chance. Littlejohn trying to get a shot away. Can't. Off on the wing it goes for Dempers. He looks for a man, but they're in the midst of a change to make sure they are in defensive posture, and time has run out.
And Whitby's playing cautious, like late in that shot clock. 4 guys are going to the bench to make sure you get the defense on there. They don't want to give any easy fast breaks.
Dame back out top for Jack Royer. Bowen to the far side. Looks back to the near side for Dame. Now to Royer. Can't get a shot away. Still with it. Up top again. Bowen in the corner. Back in front for Royer, and his shot went over top. Now a shot is smothered by Caleb Martin. He kind of glances around to make sure that thing isn't rolling anywhere.
Gauthier was trying to sell the goal, put his arms up. Maybe put a little panic into Martin. I don't think Martin's panics too easily.
Poitras again for Whitby. 8-8 tie. We are in overtime. Nice move. Got the shot away, and the rebound corralled by Malenchuk. He'll get it off on the wing. Edmonton back into the offense. Shivers on the far side. An errant pass, though, and that's a bad play. And Edmonton gets a chance to run with the ball and comes up. Tapper will give it off and head to the bench. Turnovers are so important. Dempers into the middle, off on the wing, and a hard shot taken but swallowed up by Keegan Malenchuk. Edmonton to the attack. Darlison dishes it off. Luke Bowen on the far side for Needham. Down into the corner. Gauthier, couple of moves, trying to come out in front, still with it, down low! Great chance there by Bowen, but it bounces away and goes out of play. Jake Bowen got a nice pass from Gauthier. Those two can find each other.
Oh, they work well together.
Don't they? Poitras. Far side. Back to Poitras again. Got a bit of a pick, but can't get a shot away. Now it's Soroketti. Soroketti winds, lost it, went wide, bounds into the seats. And we've got a turnover going, and one youngster's got about 3 lacrosse balls. Jonathan, what have you got?
Yeah, guys, Shanny called it out. Whitby going with kind of conservative offensive. They got to make sure, like, they still need to score here. That time, they had guys coming off the floor with like 10 seconds left in the shot clock. Some of their defensive players who are getting up in the play, I think, are deferring a little bit to the offense. Someone needs to score here.
Well, they just did. Davis Dame. One of the Whitby players was down and hurt, and the space opened up in the middle, and Dame took advantage of it and fires it home.
And sure did, and this is the first lead for Edmonton. There you see the crowd on the floor there, but Dame gets a little bit of extra space, but it's still a nice spin move on Reed, the defender, and puts it in the short side. First lead since it was 1-0 for Edmonton. And you got to wonder, you know, we're talking about how relentless Edmonton has been, but you know, this might be the first time really that Whitby's feeling a ton of pressure.
4:02 is the time of the goal, and Dame has scored for Edmonton to give them the lead, as you mentioned, for the first time since the 23-second mark, and they held it for just 2 minutes and 37 seconds.
And watch now for, you know, Poitras, Haley to be taking shots whenever they get the chances. Here we go.
Here's Haley driving, got the shot away, but it is swallowed up by Malenchuk. 5:34 to play in the first overtime. Doing anything more?
Hopefully, I'm sure Edmonton is hoping we're back here.
Yes, I would think.
I've kept it open on my calendar.
Well, there you go. Shot off a body, goes off the glass and back into goaltender Martin, and he will hold on. Brought back up now by the Whitby Warriors. 9-8. Edmonton Miners trying to force a game 3 in this series tomorrow night. Whitby, a pass to Poitras. Poitras down into the corner. Back out top for Pfeiffer. To the far side, shot whistles high and wide. Grabbed off there by Soroketti. His shot explodes and ends up in the seats. And it'll be Edmonton ball with 4:40 to play. Tick-tock, tick-tock.
We saw a couple of shifts early in the overtime, as Jonathan was saying, where, you know, the top shooters weren't on offense. I would be shocked if we don't see Poitras and Haley on every time Whitby gets the ball.
Here's a pass into the goal crease area that was intended there for Harris, but he couldn't come up with it. Whitby ball. Quickly brought back by Reed, but he needs to get off the floor, knows it. Warriors down a goal here in overtime. Here's Haley. Trying to drive, got the ball in front, nicely fed and nicely stopped by Malenchuk.
Oh,
but
they're called back in. Oh,
he was
my
in
gosh.
the crease, I think they're calling, are they not?
They're calling that the Edmonton player took the ball back in. I didn't think so. I thought it was Whitby that was in the crease on that scoring opportunity, but game goes on.
Here's a shot. Malenchuk gets a shoulder in front of that. Fresh 30, though, for the Warriors. Down a goal, 3:38 to play. In overtime, Haley down side of the net, curls back, looks back towards the blue line, or the point area, but that shot rang off the body and went wide.
Another possession. This is an extended offensive possession for Whitby. Some tired defenders.
Exactly. Poitras gets it back into the slot. Not shooting it there was Soroketti. Haley unable to get it away. Back into the slot, and a shot goes wide. Rebound Karam's off the glass.
And
Fresh
that's a
30
reset.
again.
They're saying that went on net, so there's a reset. And
one exchange defensively.
Yeah, and Whitby's bringing on fresh players here and there too.
Here's Haley, still with it. Haley works around back of the goal, being chased hard there by Bennett Smith. The captain does a great job defensively for the Miners. Long shot, bounces high in the air, but again recovered. Poitras with a shot off the shoulder. Edmonton needs control of this ball, and they finally get it. And a rather tired individual getting it to the timeline is Charlie McFadden, who gets to the bench for a well-earned rest. And Edmonton needs to hold the ball here.
Yeah, I was going to say, the defense on Edmonton is hoping this can become a long possession, not a one and done.
A shot off of the goaltender goes high, and
that's what Edmonton needed.
A new 30.
A reset, a new 30. While these guys, you see the guys on the end of the back door of the Edmonton bench just catching their breath. They're probably already ready to go again.
2:07 to play in overtime. Edmonton clinging to a 1-goal lead. Royer dishes back, long shot, and down to swallow that up is Caleb Martin.
And keep in mind, Whitby could pull their goalie anytime now. Doesn't look like he's coming yet.
Oldman heads to the bench. Whitby to the attack. Poitras, you can bet Haley will have the ball shortly as he works back on the near side. Pass back, Haley far wing, looking for Poitras. Nope. Still with it. Poitras goes to the front. Haley goes to the corner. Here's a drive play, and with time running out, it is knocked away, and it is Edmonton ball. 1:20 to play, and a 1-goal lead for Edmonton. The 30 seconds is as important as trying to get a scoring chance here. Here's Luke Bowen. Youngster didn't play in game 1, has scored an important goal here in game 2. Back to Bowen again. Pass down low. Loose at the corner, trying to flip it back. It comes to Royer. Royer got a shot, swallowed up by goaltender Martin, but they did what they wanted to do. Make sure that 30 seconds was out. Goaltender, timeout.
And timeout.
Whitby with 44.7 seconds left.
Did you say barn burner?
You just love this.
Yes.
That's great. This is great entertainment. Really is. And here's a look at the difference thus far.
Oh, yeah, this Davis Dame beats his man one-on-one. And, yeah, beautiful goal. That's been giving them the lead so far, but 40-odd seconds left for Whitby to pull their goalie, and this is not about last shot anymore. This is about getting a shot when you get a chance, and if that ball goes, rebound comes out, then just pursue it. You won't see that goalie go back in net.
Well, being discussed over there, Sean Williams, Phil Withrop, Jim Dasberg, Kevin Jenkins, Mitch Wild, Joel Watson, all part of the brain trust of the Whitby Warriors, and here we go.
Sean Williams said, I think it was the beginning of the third period, this is what you want, this kind of game. I hope he's enjoying it.
Well, this defibrillator will.
Yes, yes. Again,
here we go.
Man parked in front of the net.
Pfeiffer for Poitras, into the corner, extra attacker for Whitby. Now to Poitras. Poitras back out top. 33 seconds left, a change of players, a shot smothered, and they'll have to quickly change. 27 seconds left, and Edmonton will call timeout.
And I called that wrong. I was actually surprised. They put Caleb Martin back in net with a couple seconds left on that shot clock. One of the offensive guys ran to the bench. They put him back in. I'd be shocked if they don't pull him again. I would pull the goalie and try to double team the ball. Double team the ball. I mean, there's so many things you can do here.
the
Derek Keenan.
fact is they can take it and run the clock if they're able to maintain possession.
Remember, you got to get it over half in 8 seconds. I'll tell you what happened in NLL championship game a few years back. Derek Keenan's coaching the Saskatchewan Rush. They've got the ball. They've got the lead. They pull their own goalie. So they could have another man to pass to. And Keenan did that all the time successfully, except in that game.
Oh.
Yep. And Georgia recovered the ball, scored on the empty net, went into overtime, and won the championship.
Well, John Lintz isn't going to take that chance with the Minto Cup on the line.
But sometimes, and I don't think you're going to see it happen, after the fill, sometimes you'll see the goalie step out to give an option to pass to. I don't think you're going to see that. I think you're going to play. Usually you give it to the guy with the best legs, the guy who's very sure-handed. A guy like Jimmy Veltman back in the day.
Yep.
Sure-handed with some good speed, and if there's too much pressure, he's just going to throw the ball in the corner and hope that a guy like Matthew Gauthier can recover it.
Speaking of that, Jimmy Veltman here. Long pass, well accepted here, and a great play made by Jacob Power, who gains the zone with an empty net. Thinks about the goal? No. 15 seconds left. That's all they need. And it will be a turnover, though, or will it? Yes, 8 seconds. Not much time. Whitby knocks it down.
They got it back.
Edmonton has it, and they're going to have a game 3. What a great job by John Lintz and his young team from Edmonton and the Rocky Mountain League as they are able to win this game in overtime on an overtime goal by Davis Dame. I wasn't planning on doing anything tomorrow night anyway.
You know what's so great about this and what I love about lacrosse? Late in the second period, that 5-minute major, Edmonton's down, and it just looks like, okay, that is tough. And they recovered, tied it up, and it just was a great game ever since then.
Paul Hendrick, you've got one of the stars.
Davis Dame, the overtime hero. What resilience. You score 7 of the last 10 goals as a team. There might have been a letdown early on, especially after their shorthanded goal. What kept you going to get you at this point, now ready for a game 3 tomorrow night?
Yeah, we thought we played, throughout the whole game pretty good. They got a shorthanded goal, but we were able to come back, get a shorthanded one on the 5-minute, which was a big turning point for us, and we stuck with it. We knew it was a close game, and we knew we could pull it out in the end.
Keegan gets pulled yesterday. Your coach knows darn well when he goes back in after a pull, he's going to be good. What do you think of his performance here tonight?
Exactly. He always bounces back great. He's kept us in literally every game. I think he could be the player of the game every game for us. And with him in the net, we always know we have a chance. It's great for confidence.
Finally, on the verge of possible lacrosse history, an Alberta Minto Cup. What does this mean as you think of it? I know there's 3 tough periods to go tomorrow night, maybe more.
Yeah, it's crazy. We're real excited. We think we have a great chance, and from the start we knew we had a chance to win this. So we're ready to go tomorrow, and we're going to do it.
The name is Dame. It rhymes with game. Thanks, Davis.
Thank you.
Back up there, guys.
Thank you, Paul. Well, a tremendous effort by the Edmonton Miners to stave off elimination. And this tournament has been so competitive. Yeah. So competitive that you would have been disappointed, I think, if it didn't have to go the max.
No, honestly, we said that from the start. We'd like to see this go 3 games, and it deserves to be. The tournament's been fantastic from the start. First game that you and I saw these 2 teams at the beginning of the tournament, we said, this is great.
Goaltending has been outstanding. And they're off for a bite to eat, a good night's rest, and we will see you here tomorrow night. And looking forward to that for sure. We've got the guys standing by with the post-game summation and some of the highlights of this game. But Davis Dame scores the only goal in the 10-minute overtime period that sends the Edmonton Miners to the 3rd and final game. But you can't. How about the goal by Luke Bowen that sent the game to overtime? And so the insertion of the younger Bowen member turned out to be fairly substantial as well. So we got lots to talk about. We'll send it off to the lads. Matt and Jonathan, take it away.
Lots to talk about. I don't even know what to say or where to start. John, I said to you that your Game 5 that you guys played against Brampton in the OLA semifinals a few years ago, 2017, maybe the best game I've ever seen. This is right up there, top 3 probably.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. You know, they pay us to say words, and I have none. Again, it just comes back to Royer.
You're getting paid? Sorry.
It comes back to Royer at intermission saying that, the most resilient team in this tournament, most resilient team in the country, frankly, most resilient team I've really ever seen. What a game. Again, Coach Lynn said going into overtime, ballers step up in overtime and someone's going to have to step up and make a play. That's what this game come down to. Edmonton made one more play than Whitby did. Davis Dame getting a huge goal, biggest goal of his career so far. What a game.
Well, and how about the guys that we haven't really been talking about all tournament? Davis Dame, Luke Bowen didn't even play in yesterday's game. Gets the tying goal. Davis Dame, a 4 spot when they needed it most in that elimination game before, and now the overtime winner here.
Yeah, again, you never know who it's going to be, and this Edmonton team, I think one advantage of that maybe not knowing who it's going to be is no one's waiting around for someone else to do it, right? Everyone is, you can tell that all the offensive players are empowered on this team to step up, get to the goal, shoot. Bowen stepped into that thing like he knew it was going to go in, and David shot that thing like he knew it was going to go in. And it's team offense, and I think it might even be a benefit to this tournament as long as you get those plays in the end. But man, what a game. And then defensively, just outstanding. Being down 5-2, really shutting the door there in the third period in the second half of the game.
A final comment, if you can, about goaltending here in this game, because Caleb Martin was unbelievable. That stop in the third period, full splits, I still don't know how it happened. And then the bounce-back effort from Milenicek after getting pulled yesterday.
Absolutely. You can't win the Minto Cup without having an outstanding goalie, and it doesn't have to be the best goalie in the country. He just has to play like it, in this series. And Milenicek was outstanding tonight. Martin was outstanding tonight again as well for Whitby, as you said. Like, what a game, Maddie. Like, it wasn't like, one team made a bunch of mistakes, the other team didn't. Just unbelievable lacrosse players making unbelievable plays. And now we got a Game 3 tomorrow night that promises to be one for the ages.
I'm going to steal a line from Pat Gregoire. If you don't like that, you don't like lacrosse. We're going to give you about 24 hours, maybe less. A reminder that tomorrow's game is 8 p.m. It is a different start time. 8 p.m. is the start time from here in Brampton for tomorrow's game number 3. It is the decider for the Minto Cup. And my, oh my, if it's only half as good as today, it's still going to be a classic. For Paul Hendrick, Joe Bowen, Brian Shanahan, and Jonathan Donville, I'm Matthew Carrick, and the rest of our crew saying good night from the CAA Center in Brampton. About 24 hours to get your blood pressure in order before we get back at it. For the trophy, this is the 2022 Minto Cup on TSN.ca and TSN Direct. Good night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.